It's scheduled for 3 minutes ago. Great.
The best kind of scheduling.
Yes.
Hey, Haldemir and Rahul alive. Wonder what they are doing.
They're up to no good. All right. Yeah, looks good. Sounds good.
Nice.
Still haven't seen it. Well, if you agree with Caesar, I'm sure it's fine. That's how it works.
Yeah, my voice is coming through well. Your voice is coming through Mel Manic. I don't know whether Sheep's will.
Oh, that's the good question. Now you're supposed to say something so Grimmett can hear.
But how can I say things if I'm making macros?
Just say exactly what you're writing.
Yeah, everything's coming through fine.
Great.
Okay. People love the macro writing streams.
Of course, the map tool window that you're capturing is not the campaign window, but instead your blank map tool.
Oh, nice. I'm not actually... I've got map tools open twice, and I'm streaming the one that is not connected to the server.
That would be unfortunate. I know. Guys, this time we have the podcast with the most interesting background. The boring default grasslands.
Why did nobody tell me?
Well, I just did.
There we go. That's better. But you still can't see me making macros because that's in a separate window.
Well, yeah, you'd have to do a display capture, which is a deal. Like, you can just keep the window. God forbid you go to 20 frames per second with a display capture. It's fine.
No, I avoid the monitor or display capture because I don't want to accidentally show something else. And if I do window capture, that can't happen.
That's right. His plans for world domination that all Germans are privy to.
All the secret projects.
That's right. Or the fact that he's actually like doing a raid while actually playing the session.
No.
One of the comments like, why is she mining coal in Minecraft? Well,
all right.
What's this happening?
I can do a recap then, such as it is. So, last session 42, which was also broadcasted by Sheep to Haldemir and Rahal, the duo of dragons, Emizure Lidrethir and Velignith, got into some shenanigans. We went out to demonstrate our prowess after Vokord's expedition, conquered the dam. We encountered a lone hill giant with 2 ogres and 2 goblin hordes. We dispatched the giant and the goblin hordes and left the ogres to report back. From there, we went to our own devices. Velignith plotting his, to make his fane, his den of dragon awesomeness, suitable for his purposes by providing the gardener Peristrix with organic material. You recall the gardener as the goblin we met in the Underdark, Goblin the gnome, whom my character recruited some time ago. Whereas Emizure got news from her were-rats that there was an adventuring party poking into the were-rats, coming south into Emizure's hunting grounds. And Emizure devoted herself to patrolling her hunting territory. During one of those patrols, she encountered a group of basically worshippers of Agma sent from Redenseer to cut a deal with the dragons, a tribute slash a gift slash offer of the hopes of us dispatching their hated copper dragon nemesis for them, and working together with them, and hopefully we other dragons wouldn't decide to also work to burn or destroy Redenseer and all of the valuable knowledge that's there in the Temple of Agma. Emizure gave a non-committal, positive, yeah, we'll work on it. We're working on it. This is good. We also got a pair of sending stones as a gift. Emizure kept one and handed the other to Velignith. We didn't do too much after that first downtime. We transitioned into another one. Velignith still worked on his own plans and schemes. Emizure basically took a holiday. Heroes took some actions. The adventuring party that came down to her territory has been wounded. They failed utterly to do anything about the were-rats. Another one of the adventuring parties has left and gone to Redenseer. And a third adventuring party has instigated a war between the Spellscarred Kingdom, those occultist refugees there, and the village of Elm, much to the consternation of Cormyr. And we'll see what happens as a result of that. To cap off the session, Valignith and Missouri is celebrated by fighting 2 hill giants and a stone giant, as Vokord's expedition moved from the dam and further into the valley, splitting the force in half, with Vokord taking root in the old camp that we once used as a base, and ended up destroying, all ruined and decimated. Giants have been spread out into the valley to destroy things they come across to try and root us dragons out. We dispatched one of those parties that was heading to the ancient pipe that Emizure once used as her lair. And we ended with us basically hauling one of the hill giant corpses, like, to be far up above Vokord's camp, and then drop the giant corpse onto the camp. That's it.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
That leaves us with the next thing. We have an open goal.
Could you paste our current goals again?
I was just about to do that.
Nice.
Delightful.
I'll read them out as well, so the stream can enjoy.
All right. He meant to say map tool. All right, we have a hard burn down elm, medium delay Vokord expedition till spring, and it is almost spring. A medium to discover the plans of the Southern Giants, a medium to establish a trade connection with Thunderholm, and a hard to access the knowledge of Redenseer, with an open goal slot. I am content to keep that open because it's possible that Valky will have something for next week, and I don't have a goal that we would do in this solitary session. What about you, Sheep?
Well, first of all, I'd like to suggest we kick out the trade connection with Thunderholm, because I don't care. I don't think any of us care, so there's not a real point to keeping that.
I think the Varistrix actually kept that for now.
Oh, Varistrix kept that. Okay, sure. I thought there
should be 2 of these that you're immediately, at least, technically 2 of these slots are yours each.
Mm-hmm. I'm wanting to delay the expedition till the spring, and I'm wanting to access the knowledge of Redenseer. You can do something pertaining to the Copper Dragon, Sheep. I don't know whether you want to take care of that, though, instead of working on your... You could also put down a goal for, your gathering of, your meeting, because you want to, gather peoples, organize your party with, hors d'oeuvres and party favors and servants to, mill about and scantily clad, clothing and what have you. It's make an impression upon the local populaces to teach them about the glories of Tiamat.
Yeah, I'd have difficulties phrasing that as a goal, but I do have one thing that could be phrased as a goal. Okay. Something we've actually mentioned, or at least touched upon in the last 2 sessions, that there isn't really anyone to be at the Fane as a permanent presence. I don't see the dwarves really being there, because, I don't know, unless Elm burns, they're not really... I can't count on them being loyal for a long enough time. So maybe a good goal would be to find... what's the right word? Not a crew. Maybe a crew.
Minions.
Staff.
Okay, so you're acquiring an asset here.
Yeah.
All right, spend some coin, make it a roll. What's your action?
Tier +2.
Basically need to staff the Fane so that there's always someone there to relay messages. It's basically the first point of contact. Or I envision it as being the first point of contact for the outside world, which only really works if people are there to receive the people who go there.
It's like what Tilraxos wanted to do with establishing hobgoblins at the ruins of the Eel Fort and turning that into a proper thing.
So maybe that could be a good goal to have. minions that can stuff that place.
My counter query would be like, is that something that you're going to work towards this session instead of like organizing your like gathering? Is that something you want to do before your meeting?
I mean, the gathering as a purpose sort of works towards that goal.
Okay.
So technically, the gathering would come first. I don't see the gathering happening this session.
Right. I recall you making mention that you wanted Valky to be present.
Yeah. Also, just thinking logically, like, if I invite a bunch of people, they're probably going to need some time to actually come here, like in-game time.
How dare you be reasonable about this? You're a red dragon.
It would be funny to just go, people. Yeah, if you can go here like tomorrow into the mountains. No,
you have 1 10-day.
Those who do not show up will die.
No, I'd like to give people a couple of weeks, especially so that the word can spread too, like
all right,
through rumors and such.
That works for me. However, it is that you word that.
Yes, wording is important here for what we want to do. Because like, would mercenaries be good for you? Would that be like just people who are getting paid to do it?
I mean, that would work, but I wouldn't pay people. I want people to do it because they are so infatuated with Dragonkind, not because they get paid. That's ridiculous.
It's that is certainly working from a much like smaller like a pool of people.
Yeah, who do it because they love dragons. Most people have some.
Yeah. The creatures who love dragons have not gone over well with Malignant.
No.
All right. Yeah. I mean, really, the choice here is how picky are you going to be. That's going to determine the difficulty. Because getting anyone would be easy. Just like, just grab a bunch of peasants and tell them they live here now. Like, well, you'll burn them alive. Getting competent people, probably like medium. Gather a group or a gang of misfits and whatnot. Now, getting like strong and loyal, like a guard, would probably be hard.
I think I would aim towards like a loyal priesthood. So like more like the hard level of difficulty there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want something that can be counted on.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how we can work that. Like establish a. Like you're saying priesthood, so you think it should be like a divine Tiamat oriented sort of dragon cult.
Ideally, yeah.
Maybe not even cult, because cult is sort of secretive and sort of.
No, not a cult. Maybe not
like
no giant neon signs that can be seen in the countryside, but not exactly subtle either.
Some dedicated worshippers of Tiamat who
it's like a word for that. Like some sort of holy order.
Holy order. You play Crusader Kings too. Deus Vult, bitches.
There may be literal crusades in Valagna's future.
No, yeah, the Deus Vult
just for the putting
CB.
people in there. That's easy with Tiamat.
That's right.
Against every other religion.
Yeah. I'll call it the Deacon Beacon. That's what's happening up there on your mountain. The Deacon Beacon.
Establish we call it a temple guard. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's a good word.
Temple guard.
Considering the holy nature of what
it's like
Valigno was trying to establish. Yeah. Especially since Valigno saw any treasure you bring here never leaves.
Like some sort of ascetic sort of.
Uh-huh.
I mean, thing is, the people worship Cyric, like, who is just absolutely insane god. So
right.
Like Tiamat's not the worst you could get.
People worship like those neutral evil demons that just want to end existence.
Destroy I worship the concept of hunger. Like, why would you do that? Usually because they're really bitter and angry.
I know what that's like.
Slow burn. Yeah. Just waiting in traffic. A slow person before you're like, I could worship hunger for a bit.
That's right.
Just
There I am, my big old truck getting 4 miles per gallon,
oh,
sucking down double quarter cheese pound,
oh.
slurping on
Ooh.
my big cola.
Yeah, worshiping hunger.
My rifles in the background.
I do feel like the concept of greed and ambition can be sold really well to people.
Mm-hmm. No,
know?
it's right. It's just,
It's
yeah,
basically, just call it capitalism and...
Yeah,
welcome to the Temple of Free Market Forces.
You're establishing a temple guard for the Dragon Fane. Yeah, a hard goal. It sounds appropriate for Veligneth and his tenor.
Well, maybe a pluralistic group. I mean, we had to find a lot of these people in one place.
Yeah, just be careful. Those who worship, an entity devoted to like avarice and destruction,
and trickery, for that matter.
Yes.
But then again, I mean, he's not gonna be afraid, right? He's a dragon.
That's right.
What can these mortals get?
That's right.
What can they do to such a creature?
No one would pull a fast one on a servant of Tiamat.
And they can try. They're well in their right to try, but then...
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Honestly, Tiamat would be kind of disappointed if you didn't try.
Exactly, yeah. They sort of have to test him, right?
Power struggles, fighting. That could be a whole Netflix series just about the politics in the cult of Tiamat.
Shit.
It's the strong that rule, and Veligneth is the strongest, so he has nothing to fear.
Well, Tiamat's the strongest.
Well, yeah, but she's not here, is she?
All right. There's our goal. The zealots, the adherents, the worshippers, the fanatics, fans of the Fane.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only do they have to be gathered, they also have to be trained.
That's right. So that, they know what happens. Like, pull this lever in case of message, like priority messaging. A trained behemoth will take the priority letter and ride down the mountain.
I gotta get those Skywing behemoths.
Oh yeah, like pterodactyl messenger pigeons.
All right, that's the end of our goal section.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and then we probably just cut right back to seeing the first scene of the episode is just the big, the giants walking about, looking up, there's yelling in Jotun, as the giants are stomping about, gathering rocks and whatnot. As we hear some sort of exclamation, as then a big body thunders down and just splatters on the rocks, given the distance and the weight of the thing. I mean, that's quite an impact. A thunderous crack of just blood and gore and bones breaking as the hill giant is destroyed.
Right. A roar from one of the offending parties, one of the dragons up in the sky, as she turns away from the camp and flies towards the ruins on the other side of the valley.
Yeah. Kill the stone giant.
We sure did.
Another one, I should say.
What are the numbers left in Vogoth's camp like? There's him.
If you want to get some more precise.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
You wanted a perception check.
Perception check.
Yeah, you don't want to get within a stone's throw.
That is very true.
That's the question. How close do you want to get to confirm your intel?
Exactly. With that, I mean, giants are pretty big. Some of them might be outside. But there's probably a dozen giants. Probably a similar number of ogres, and then a whole bunch of goblins and hobgoblins. It's 2 dozen big guys.
2 dozen big guys. Okay, that is many big guys actually.
Yeah. well, the ogres are probably not too difficult for you to deal with.
Zure will land, like by like the ruins of the tower that is the Serpentine Earl ordered destroyed ever so long
he
ago.
paid heavily to
Yep.
make that happen. That was a hellish walk along a thin ledge of a giant.
Which has
It's not
since been
ideal.
converted into that astrolabe that
Astrolabe, yeah.
Missouri lands. Stretches her body. It was some work hauling that fucking hill giant, even with Valigna's help, and she's like, she applied herself too damn much. Huffs, like lays down. Looks up.
That's a bit of a cool wind coming out from the
Feels nice.
blowing into the valley here. High enough up to get it, but not so high that the sort of stones have baked it into a warm breeze.
She looks around the hillsides, can see that, all of the mud starting to like roll down as like the warmer weather comes.
There's got to be mudslides. Quite a few of those.
She's glad she moved out of the valley.
It's got to be a mess.
It's not going to be pleasant now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with how much snow had accumulated thanks to that asshole Lord of Winter Pipers.
Oh, yeah. Lots of piping going on there.
Yeah. She snorts. Says to Valignus, "You think we should leave the other roving parties of them alone for the time being? If we don't stop any of the other ones, except for the ones that came for that pipe, then maybe they'll think it's significant."
Perhaps. It would also give them some more time to think about our gift to them. Let their imaginations go wild a bit.
Surrey says, "I agree. I like this plan." Pauses and says, "I'll let you know then how the situation between Elm and the Spellsguard develops further."
Yes, I do hope whatever conflict brews happens quickly. I'm growing impatient.
Well, as I informed you, it is. There's tell of adventurers and blue fire, and one of the tree guards outside Elm was burned, and undoubtedly there will be a much larger response. I will delight in witnessing it. I hope you are ready then, when the time comes soon, to pick off whoever's left, I believe you said.
Oh, yes.
All right. Keep in touch then. She does the draconic equivalent of blowing kisses, in a mocking way. And then closes her eyes, intending to take a nap here.
Tilting his head slightly in a confused expression before just, taking off. We got the stones. If he remembers something that he wanted to ask, he doesn't have to stop Emmy anymore. He can just use those instead.
Great. Just so long as I... Now, is it so long as we have the stones with us, or does it work on that horde osmosis thing too of the sending stone it there? Because Lord Almighty, I don't need him messaging me wherever I am.
No, I think you actually talk into them.
Okay,
They don't take a slot, an item slot. So
hey, right. Hey, listen, hey.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that's what I thought was happening, and that's what I hoped was happening, because I didn't want tutorial asshole over there. Hey, listen.
Eventually, you might have a guy that sort of handles that for you, but
Yeah. All right, great. Yep. She'll laze around here for a bit, and then she'll go fuck off and fly back to her lair. Whee! Like so. And it doesn't sound like either Valignith or I are looking to accomplish any other combat actions. Instead, are looking to transition into downtime.
Sounds like it, yeah. In the downtime, the giants will since they're not further disturbed, they will smash the basically the stone pillars of this river valley here. They will break and destroy them. Harpy's leaving, very unhappy.
Yeah.
Probably just going to the other nest that they established.
Yeah, the one either like that nest up there, or wherever they've gone to live, or like the plague camps, as a number had moved out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This nice thing took hundreds of years to form, and now it's all ruined by giants. Because they don't appreciate anything they didn't build.
Of course they don't. Like,
No.
like once upon a time that wasn't there. Like the giants wouldn't have had that there in their beautiful valley.
No, this is all just a reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing, really. Yeah. Why am I not? Sec. Much better. Yes, downtime. That's the thing we're doing. All right. Yeah, we could do that. You will not be attacked during this downtime. They don't know exactly where you're lairing at the moment.
Yeah,
If they did, they might try. Very well go with everything they have. But your 2 layers are sort of really all your layers are far out of place.
As you made mention last session, the only one who's like would immediately be under duress, who's like exposed, would be Telraxos. But
at this point, I imagine he would build like a list and whatnot. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear Jonas now through Telraxos like freaking out, like we cannot allow any of them
in my valley.
My commerce.
To the unbelieving.
Just looking outside his window every day, frowning.
Think of the body.
The body.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Do you have anything you want to do with your downtime, in particular?
Well, you want to go ahead and get embarked on your new goal, Sheep? Or you want some time to think about it?
Well, I'd imagine I try to tackle that goal after the meeting.
You suggested a goal that you're not able to tackle. That's rough, Sheep.
I know, but it's the thing is, my plans are sort of intentionally vague. I've got a rough timeline of how I want to do things, but I don't actually know how they'll turn out. So it's hard to plan for those. But it's very much in Vilignus' character to not plan too carefully. What I want to do right now is... actually, it is sort of working towards that goal. Because it is time to start inviting people. And I think that's a big enough affair to actually make that a downtime thing, because it'll take a while.
Right.
Basically, the idea will be to invite everyone who's ever either been, positive towards us or better. Which is a whole bunch of different people and creatures, and I'm even gonna invite those who at least I don't know exactly about, because I find it funny and I'm curious what comes of that. The tools Vilignus has at his disposal is the were-rats he's going to borrow from Emmy, as he requested last session, which will be sent into Elversalt to contact the people of the Cult of the Dragon that Vilignus hopefully knows how they roughly look and their names, and maybe that's good enough for the were-rats. And his other tool, which will be used most extensively, is a ritual of sending, because he can do that too now. He can't do it for free like Veristrix, but he can do it regardless. But Menekai, I think I'm gonna send you a list privately
of people
and creatures. Although, just to summarize, the people I'm thinking about is the Copper Dragon, the Lizard Folk, definitely the Cult of the Dragon, which will be handled by the were-rats, and basically, I'm probably forgetting a bunch of people and things we've interacted with that I might want to include. So I'm hoping I'll talk to you, Menekai, and figure out who I'm forgetting.
I mean, dwarves of Thunderhome.
Sure.
Winterfell. You got Centaurs you've talked to. You got various cities up north. Westgate, Tissir, Trade.
Definitely not the Winterfell. The dwarves, sure. I think I actually also want to somehow contact the Aboleth, just because. He probably can't come himself, but
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, you might have to find someone who can speak the language. Yeah.
Basically just a bunch of people that will be told, you know, come here, get in line, or get out.
Right. Like you all are all people who would have a reason to want me dead, because I am going to hurt all of you if you don't bow to me. That's
well, maybe not phrasing it like that, but basically inviting all the people who have enough ambition and potentially common sense to sort themselves into the order that Velignif sees would be good for this place.
Right, like the Aboleth, who doesn't see a line but sees like an Ouroboros.
I don't know. I don't know what Aboleths are all about. But either, you know, we cooperate, or it gets a bunch of slag put in its lake. So how about that?
I'll teach it. You fill it with black coal dust.
But yeah, that'll basically be what I want to do this downtime. Planning for the actual thing to take place probably in like 10 days.
Since it's somewhat nebulous still, like how about a medium for the difficulty? Just because, I mean, really each try is just you telling me how you're contacting a specific group. And then doing a test for it. I would say easy, but for example, getting to the Aboleth and getting him an invitation is not super trivial.
Yeah, I don't even know. Certainly a lot of easy targets.
I can tell you that the end goal there will be that you have at least notified who will be on your list on this.
Sure. Probably also like to include like the whatever kobolds are left of the area and all those things.
Yes, they've had a bad decline in population recently. Hell has purged them.
And perhaps from those invitations, some especially good potential candidates for the Temple Guard might emerge.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, I suppose. Yeah, okay. That works for me. How do you want to begin doing it?
Probably the easy ones first, which would be sending the Werets to Elversalt, as well as sending a sending to the Lizard Folk. Those two are probably the easiest.
Sure, but just, I mean,
you're looking for a roll, aren't you?
What? Yeah, of course.
All right, let's do the sending first then. That would be an Arcana roll, I suppose. Sure, let's do that. Just pretend to do a ritual. That is terrible.
Yeah, well, I mean that's not a lot of progress there. In fact, is it any progress? Let's see here. DC. No, that actually does not progress it at all.
Great.
You know, it seems fitting that like sending being like, you know, like conveying a mental message of up to 25 words to a person you know. It's, you don't like know those fucking lizard folk. You're just like, individual lizard folk, here am I. And like, fuck.
Yeah, perhaps
they might understand it.
Velignif so far has been notoriously and in part intentionally bad with names for, you know, non-dragons. Like, he doesn't know what the dwarven matriarch is called, like just dwarven matriarch. So that might make spells to target specific individuals very difficult. Oh,
well. Like who the hell is that lizard that I had him helping me fit things? Whatever.
Like, if I saw him, I would recognize him, but I couldn't describe him to you.
Yeah. You get like a ritual, like, message recipient unclear. What do you mean it's unclear? I know exactly who I'm sending it to. This stupid magic.
Yeah. Number could not be found.
If only you could spend a coin to take another downtime out.
Dragons would rather spend 10 days.
You know, you're right. Then let go of one fucking coin. As for me, Manikai,
Yeah.
what I want to do is I want to slip into Elm. There was an adventuring party that I whooped the hell out of that got wounded.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't really have much time to figure out who the hell they were in the process of hurting them. Missouri, however, is pretty damn pissed that that creatures would dare to hunt in her forest, her woods, her swamplands. She wants to look into them. She wants to investigate. Like, they're going to have retreated back to Elm, and you know, courtesy of the fact that they're a losing party, and she imposed her will in swatting them away. At the moment, she wants to figure out who the hell they are. Wants to inquire and poke around, like in Elm. Just their identities, like who they are, like learn more about them. For the potential of acting against them more directly in the future.
Yeah, all right. Find out who they are. I feel like that's just if you give me an information roll.
Yeah, and give you a streetwise check, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Then that's
yeah. It didn't really seem like a huge project.
More than spending a 10-day on that seems not.
Yeah. When in a settlement, make a streetwise check to find out what's going on, who the movers and shakers are, where to get what you need, and how to go what down to go. Sure. This is the first time we'll be rolling streetwise. You know, those dragons always rolling streetwise checks.
You know. What's up, fellow humans?
22.
They don't have a huge sort of reason to want to hide, didn't they? Even know who they are. Yeah, they're staying at the inn. They got wounded.
Okay.
Apparently, it is a how would you describe that in sort of in-game terms? It's a group of adventurers, right? A couple of hang-arounds. Apparently, there's a sorcerer and a couple of other people. One of them is a tiefling.
Okay.
Yeah. Another is a sorcerer, a Latran sorcerer. People don't really like him too much. He's a little creepy. And then there's like a human who's like just really upfront and usually goes drinking with people. He's a good guy. Yeah, apparently they tried to go south of the river and it was a bad idea, turns out. But there was these rumors that shapeshifters and things. People have gone missing in Elm. Mysteriously missing. Someone was found with their head, the back of their head blown out. So it's like feel a little on edge. I should look for a reason for that.
No.
Some people blame me on Spellscar.
Yeah.
That's
good.
what that does, right?
Yeah. This. I think it's appropriate here that Missouri is going to be reminded of those dwarves that she saw several 10 days ago that also had their heads blown out, like on the back of their head. She concluded that wasn't a natural thing, so that's kind of spooky that folks at Elm are being found who are also in the same condition. And it's unfortunate that no one in Elm seems to have it pinned down. Yeah, that's well, it's not her problem. No were-rats have been found in that condition.
Yes.
All right, that's great. I'm trying to think of what she would do. I don't think she would take any, conspire to, murder these people within Elm itself, and she wouldn't want to send her were-rats here because of how on edge the town is right now, what with the burning of the tree guard and the were-rats already being regarded as suspicious. I don't think she would try to approach or befriend the adventurers in any fashion, even though her human guy sort of has a rapport with the adventurers. They are wounded, but no. She'll commit their faces to memory. She'll try to. They all look alike, but these ones in particular.
And a Latran tiefling, not like the human, who knows, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you give me like a perception check?
Yeah, I can do that.
Look at guys.
For those roll, I am in my human form, so my perception's actually lower. Oh no.
Oh no, human eyes.
That's right, my human eyes instead of my dragon eyes.
Inferior.
You're a human eye.
Oh,
26. All
good.
right.
Yeah. And this leader of this group, the tiefling, you actually see that you're pretty sure. Like, you don't know exactly what it is, as usually goes, but you're pretty sure this guy has the same sort of air about him as some of the imps and so forth. Again, not exactly sure what it is, but something tells you it's affiliated with the hell.
Oh, fucking course. I think she would take that as a great compliment. As she should actually like, of course, Besserek would send the most powerful adversary he could to keep his beloved daughter on her toes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this is the group that was chosen to hunt in her area to cause her trouble. Like, instead of being offended, she takes like a bit of pride of that. Like, yeah.
She also, while she's here, given that she cares about what's going on south of the river here, that actually a lot of the kobold tribes in what's known as the Mud Hills have been they like killed so many of them and brought back like a bunch of kobold like tails to show for a slight bounty. So some people had like a little trouble with the kobolds,
Okay.
They're troublesome creatures now and then, but yeah, apparently the group also slaughtered like a bunch of those before they went after bigger targets.
Yeah, so they already had experience down south. While we're on that similar note, it's not quite kobolds, but I mean it's in the same category. I mean, one lizard person looks the same as any other. This tribe of lizard folk that was south of the river, this Sun Seeker tribe, like it might be ancient history at this point to Elm, but does anyone know who the hell did that? Like who did them in?
Who did them in?
Yeah. I know adventures come and go. I know that might be calling upon you to remember who did them in.
Yes, let's see here.
Because I don't recall myself.
Yeah, they can tell you because it was actually quite peculiar. Yeah, that was done a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time, a year or more, like. But back then it was a guy who still sometimes comes here, but travels a lot. Kobold, actually.
A kobold?
Yeah.
A kobold adventurer? Huh.
Yeah. No, it's strange. It's he only really comes in at night, doesn't drink anything from this place. He's with a paladin these days. Deva, one of those angels, so they figure he's probably good enough, but no, that creature is unusually smart for their kind and very driven. Incredibly driven.
You ever talk about what drove him?
I say that that his whole clan and family was burned alive, killed, or he doesn't really talk about it, but vengeance.
Oh, okay.
It's not even true.
Yeah. This, so the Kobold adventure comes and goes, so not around these parts right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure my character, like, I'm pretty sure Emizure would have seen, like, recognized a fucking
No.
kobold.
They were here recently, but
Oh.
they've left.
Okay.
Probably not coming back to these parts for a while.
Hmm.
There's also nowadays traveling with a halfling.
Ah.
Beautiful singing voice, but very, very odd style of singing. Angry singing. Little unconventional group. The Deva made people a little uncomfortable. People are not too unhappy to see them go.
Any clues on where it is that they've pieced off to? Because it sounds like word on the street
eventually
here
like
is
scuffing. Oh yeah, they went to Redenseer, definitely. That's where people go.
Redenseer.
Yeah, that's where people go. There's a big mead hole there, but they got nothing on the stuff here. Have you tried the ale?
Yeah.
Elmwood Ale. Have a cup.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll have to pass. Have to get on the road again, But she's had some before. Yeah.
Driving home. Yeah, well, it's good stuff, and many of the people say, well, they don't really know. I mean, the place here is small. There's not too much work, but given what's happening with the plague camps and such, it just doesn't seem right to leave.
Yeah.
And
business,
it's all just feels like home at this point. It's so comfortable.
Business is really picking up here, and
yeah,
my character understands. I mean, it's sealed here. Like, she keeps coming back. Like, I really do feel like an attachment to this place. All right.
They are always expanding, so ever so slowly, just taking new houses out, growing things. Trees seem to expand. Sort of.
Yeah. How's the and then my final sort of like thing that I would do in Elm is, how's Elm handling the tree guard being burned? Like, she's seen that stuff from a distance, but she never like came here directly to get the mood of the town after the fact.
Yeah, the slackened sort of bits of it are still there, and perhaps most people have not, like, it's a tree, it's a guard. They're not emotionally attached to it. But the innkeeper has grown silent, quite silent since then, and it seems to have. He has usually been a voice of reason, of calming down, but that seems to have been a real blow. That he has not sort of accepted, if you will. People, if you ask, it's sort of a low voice. People don't like talking about him behind his back. He's, Alistair is a very,
very respectful of him.
Very respectful, reverent even. But no, yeah, they'll say that when he found out, he usually does not show much like emotion or affectation when he does things, but he went straight back and went into his rooms and didn't show for the rest of the day. The inn was just closed, which they don't know, but people, there's a lot of, something's going to happen at this point. Yeah, mostly they're worried about the Comerians, because the next step seems to be getting rid of those. Adventures are a thing, is matter of time, and the Comerians certainly don't show while they're still just there, staying back at their own place.
Okay. All right. Well, Sealed will Emizure as and you guys will slip out early the next morning, having to confirm that. Final thing I'll want to do then is actually return to the ruins of the Sunseeker tribe, to fly over that to see whether that group of lizard folk are still there.
Yeah. Let's see when they arrived. It's not long ago. Yeah, they'd still be there.
Okay.
At this point, they've sort of seems to have scavenged what's there to be scavenged. They've made a cairn, like a pile of stones, which are hard to come by in the swamp, and have apparently like painted themselves with some of the like black mud to have like various sigils and such across their forms and armor. Yeah, that's probably what you can see from the air.
Okay.
They're still there. Seems like they've hunted. It doesn't seem like they're settling, really. At the moment, at least.
That's cool. I'll approach and land to tell you what the my idea is, Manikai, so that you know what I want going into this. Emizure managed to stumble across the information of the adventuring party, the group that she feels is responsible for what happened to the Sunseeker tribe, a year or so ago. And the lizard folk in charge here is very much in interest of pursuing like that quest for vengeance. Imizure will offer that information of that, like describe the adventuring party and where they've gone, Redensir, at no cost, with the offer of once that quest for vengeance is pursued, come back, and Imizure can offer some gainful employment because she's interested in minions who have this determination, and they want to stay around like their old home and after the vengeance is done. She's looking at those cockatrices, and she's looking at like the armored lizard folk, and she's like, I can make use of them.
The armored lizard folk will state that, in short, he's very respectful, bowing and such, and will basically thank the dragon for the opportunity. But in a manner that seems to suggest the lizard folk does not expect to live beyond the quest for vengeance.
Yeah, he's alright.
It doesn't have that perhaps even aspiration. The clan of this lizard folk is dead. Its goal now is to destroy those who did such a thing. Perhaps as it's otherwise. I mean, it's tribalist. It's a wanderer. It had been taken in by another tribe, but it seems to not be interested in that. Oh. Its tribe was the Sunseekers, and that's the only one. The others are all deep, sort of in the deep below, and they detest, or they fear superstitiously the surface.
All right. Well, unfortunate, but Imizure tries to understand the motivations of lesser creatures.
It seems to appreciate it, and wow, this Sunseeker tribe seems to have been somewhat unique. It does not like in the Underdark, right? As they're talking to the lizard folk, they were skeptical of dragons. They were sort of wary of them. The Sunseekers don't seem to share that position. They have not had trouble with the dragons in the past. It seems. Some of the minions are clearly not originally from this tribe.
Right. Right.
But they seem to follow their leader, probably inspired by the battle prowess creature.
She isn't quite sure how the quest for vengeance is gonna like be resolved with that band as it's composed, and the cockatrices especially. She doesn't quite think Redensir is gonna allow those like into into town.
No, it's also the idea that even though this guy seems to now know the he gives them the names of the people who did it. Doesn't have a concept of what Redensir is. Beyond that, it was the sort of the civilized, sort of humanocentric world that did this sort of conceptually, and and so be it. He will do his crusade to destroy all of them. Probably no concept of how many there are.
What the hell? She isn't going to do anything else for her downtime. She will attempt to articulate to the lesser creature because she's in a good mood, and maybe tried to weasel out a pair of those cockatrices to keep as pets. The concept of what like Redensir is like this large conglomeration of like adventurers with like some fortifications and people who are skilled at combat and magic. There's like a keep there, like devoted to like Ogma, God of Knowledge, and if you just like walk in with like everything you have, you're probably not going to be able to find like the people who did this to your tribe. Tries to express this.
All right. Yeah. Give me a diplomacy check. I feel like that.
Sure, I can do that.
Trying to talk between worlds here. Luckily, you share language. So.
It does help, yes. 27.
All right, that's pretty good, but damn good.
I mean, it'll be fast talk. What the hell? Why not? I have the thing.
Why not?
That's right. Otherwise, how will I use everything? Aha! Yes.
Aha! Even more success.
That's right. All of my number. Fear my encounter power. Oh, mighty lizard.
Yeah. I mean, that explains it. And at first, Elizabeth sort of seems to be surprised at the dragon speaking like this, but rather amenable to it, really. over time. He sort of agrees, and will probably end up requesting or like asking aid then in that, or at least advice. He desires vengeance. He wants to see these lands burn like his lands or his tribe was burned. They were always raiders. He does not put that in. Like they have no friendship. He didn't expect any mercy really.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't shown any either, and that's really fine. But the only way to really honor the memory of what his tribe was is to make them remember it, and or to kill all of them, obviously. But it seems like that's not really the possibility here.
Yeah. Well,
that means that he's not sure how to go about that. Though normally their plan was to begin raiding Elm and then just sort of continue until there were no more people in Elm. Just raid, sell, hire more like lizards, and inspire more, and then just rinse, repeat, really, with no end goal. Maybe breed the cockatrice more.
mm-hmm.
It's the Sunseeker tribe sort of creature. So,
Well, two proffered paths. If one is that that goal, that ambition, could certainly be pursued. Elm has some dangers of its own, but it is a location they know. They can see that right there.
They have raided it and stolen people before.
Yeah. And Elm is kind of distracted right now because other creatures are raiding it too.
Mm-hmm.
The other possibility is the adventuring group that's directly responsible for like killing the Sunseeker tribe. Like that is a group of adventurers. They will go out of Redenseer alone, just them, to do something else in the area. And when they are separated from everyone else, that's when you can strike. So if just like one of the lizard folk like goes into Redenseer and keeps an eye on that adventuring group, that yipping kobold and what have you, then when they leave, you will know. And when you know, then you will be able to strike and claim your vengeance.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a good idea. The lizard folk probably would not be too comfortable in a human settlement. They would stand out a lot.
Yeah.
Might even be kicked out of the tavern or some such thing. It's not Westgate. In Westgate, they'd be fine. But
yeah.
But yeah, that's a problem. But they could certainly try to lurk around. Some other people are scouts and such, but they're not. It's not like the reason they want to do it here is because there's swampy terrain.
Yeah, there's not that much swampy terrain around.
They don't. They can sort of attack and then sort of go back into it. They never were a standing fighting force. They strike and then retreat. But I mean, if Missouri, they basically say they don't have much to pay. He has the metal armor, but he would be loath to give it up. Yeah. And seeming to Missouri, they would put a very high price on that, the armor and sort of the weapon. It seems like that did not come cheap, basically.
No,
but Missouri would offer even some of the priceless creatures he brings with him in return for helping find these adventurers. Perhaps the clan could give up 2 of their cockatrices.
You know what? Yeah, a pair of those. She's not going to demand like the weapon or armor from like the person who's seeking vengeance. Like it just seems like needlessly cruel even for her.
It's also not magical.
Yeah, like like it would be kind of fucked up for her. Like she thinks like she's not going to ask for Valignif stuff that he made. Like she doesn't really want that or treasure that. Yeah, and a pair of those pets, the cockatrices that she's not seen before. Yeah, that definitely attracts her attention.
Yeah, they're sort of small, but even the lizard folk will say that, and even actually bring proof, looking around here, that they used to have a really big one.
Oh,
but that was killed.
Oh,
they hope to breed them big again. In this place. That takes time, right? So
yeah,
if you win. Perhaps that can be a thing then, but giving him Missouri a couple would at least make it so that those don't die, right?
Yeah. And Missouri will leave them then. After like the pair, she'll articulate that she has no problems with them raiding so long as it's directed northward and not trying to go south.
There's nothing south.
Exactly. And obviously, if they fuck off towards Redenseer. Yeah, there's no great city beneath the hill. Don't worry about it. Yeah, she'll leave them. She has no further business she wishes to conduct.
They seem to prefer to stay along the water, though that's probably more from tradition than actual need.
Yeah, that's fine. We probably used up her interact with inferior species quota for the 10-day.
Yeah, she's like, go home and sleep.
Yeah, she's run out of patience. She can only do so much of that shit.
Yeah. On that note, the end of that 10-day, let's roll some hero goals.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do
See
it.
what they get up to next.
What
Yeah,
Alright.
hijinks and shenanigans.
Let's have who should we go first here? These guys relocated. They're good. They did that. These guys attacked spell scarred. These
Then
guys got,
there's our wounded
these
group.
guys don't get to roll because they
Yep.
got beaten up.
So just two, so Sheep and I can handle one each.
That seems fine. Snoot. The adventurer.
Oh, I'll just snoot. What do you need?
Mhm.
A D20?
I need a D20. Wait, no, a D10.
Oh, damn.
D20 is
Right,
for
he needs
adventure.
Right.
Six.
Currently, that actually
He
makes
moves.
a lot of sense. Very early though. But yes, he hears that a meeting is being prepared by a certain dragon, and he is going to try to intercept and sabotage any invitations and meetings.
What a dick.
Oh, I love it. Snoot and his quest for vengeance.
It sort of tells its own story, doesn't it?
It does.
Someone in YouTube chat actually, Isakawa said, with the one, Valegna sent the message to Snoot instead.
Hello, adventurers of Red and Seer. A meeting is going to take place. It's very with the dragon. Little kobold's eyes burning with a holy flame. Vengeance for the kobold god. All right, yeah, that's what he's going to do then. See how that goes for him, but that's his goal.
All right.
As they'll begin to run around and try to find out who has them and who's planning to go, and then hurt those people or sabotage wagons and try to just make it as difficult as possible. You know, go down and slander him to the Aboleth.
You love that image.
Not a super easy thing to do, but it doesn't stop him. I'm glad that they were the ones who rolled that. All right.
Yeah, it's so fitting.
What Jin's going to get up to?
Another 6.
He also
Jin,
sabotaged.
let's re-roll. We don't want
Okay.
two people doing the same thing.
1.
1. Well, Jin, he's also going to leave Elm.
I can see it like my work here is done. I've done everything I need to do. There's no further profit for me. I'm out. Where's he going? Back to his mansion in Cormyr?
Here.
Ah,
Here. Yeah. There's a big adventurous tavern there. It's like in the bigger leagues. You know, more important adventurers are there than in Elm. People go south. You know, some people go to strike at Starmantle and like raid.
yeah, the
And
ruins of
such.
Starmantle.
Again, if you manage to not stick around in Elm forever and actually sort of continue your career, because most of the adventurers in Elm are actually not really going adventuring that much anymore. Maybe they just stick around with some of the other groups that go out, like be the fourth member. But most of them sort of retire a little bit and don't really like. It's just so nice there, you know. You
Yeah,
don't
they
really
have an
to-
attachment to Elm.
Yeah, and so they don't really advance in their careers a whole lot. While these guys, it seems like they're growing, they're becoming big fish in small ponds, and so they're
All right, so they like Snoot's group have permanently moved out of Elm.
Yep.
Okay. What they're working on. They aren't ingratiated. Like Snoot's group was accepted. Like turned away.
oh, Jin, he's so amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe the Comurians asked him, like, Jin, we need your help here to stop the. And he's like, well, I just killed a bunch of the spells, God, I'm out of here. I'm good. Don't ask for me. Just go for my help. I'm smart.
That's right. and then the wounded servants of hell remain.
Don't get to
No.
do anything. They're just wounded. They basically spent their time healing
Yeah.
before they can set out on a different venture. Yeah. All right. That was our heroes acting, and now let's roll for our big
Volkord.
guys. Yeah.
What will the omen say today?
I'll need a D4.
I think I'll roll one. I
Okay.
think Grimif did last time. 2.
All right, they should. Oh man, so many of these. All right, no, that's another 2, which is another call to seize defensible positions, and to maybe it makes sense given the giant that fell on top of them. What does that omen mean? What could it possibly be?
The stone giant, like mystics, like stare at it to try and interpret it.
Hmm. Well, it means get the hell out of this damn muddy valley because it's actually pretty worthless. Oaklands Camp will probably move back to the back from this striking place there to the dam.
Okay.
To unite the giants and make it hard to strike at them because there's a lot of them in one place, and that makes them very dangerous.
That is
Perhaps they might be
accurate.
looking to go to the other side, or the other direction. Seems like it's hard to locate. Well, who knows what they might do next? I certainly don't. We'll see. As they
Next
go
turn,
forward.
they move back in.
Attack. Well, I mean, they could also move out and just go burn the settlement there or something.
Yeah, it would.
Kill the Spellscarter.
It certainly would be different than I had anticipated, for sure.
No, that's
You-
the thing about Volkor.
You owe tribute to the hierarchy, and they're like, "What?"
Give us the dragon. They're like, fine. Christ. We have one coming up. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Volkor. The gods can tell him to do many things, but defending and being passive is certainly one of them.
Does
Time is up.
anything transpire on these northern shores here between Elm and the plague camps?
Yes. We'll move on with that. But that's news you'll get. Well, I guess Imuzur might actually just keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you'd get it from the
Yeah,
from Worm's Hamlet.
I am very passionate about this, as it turns out.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, not too much happens. Beyond that, one of the latter days, the Cormyrian delegation will be seen, or at least the banners will be seen leaving Elm.
Oh my!
Not officially, perhaps, but at least for now, they will need. If they're going to stay here, they need backup. The handful of them is simply not enough to. They don't want to slaughter a bunch of people here. And Elm is not like their job here was to protect Elm, not to subjugate it. And so, if they can't currently fulfill their purpose, they will fall back, and then yeah, they end up leaving. It's gonna be violence, and they don't think they can stop it.
Missouri is amused. The initial seed she planted to get Elm to get more help, and then the more help comes, but it ends up not helping them. Oh yeah, and Missouri finds this is great. Like ha 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 ha.
My puppeteering.
That's right. These stupid inferior creatures. If only all such creatures were this easy to manipulate. Yeah. She tries not to be disappointed by the fact there's not more terrible in the grasslands, in the fields, and on the shores open scale combat. But it's
Elm doesn't have a huge sort of standing force. They have their militia, and then they have adventurers and tree stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the plague camps have certainly strike forces and such. They're
Yeah,
Actually, more of them than there are citizens of Elm.
yeah. That's even after the were rats and the trees and everything else.
There's a lot of them. Most of them are absolute trash, but that goes. The trees are still doing things, though. Might be keeping them from actually moving out too hard. Who knows? They might interpret that as Elm doing things.
Yeah.
But those trees are certainly more scary than the Goldens of colorful.
They sure are. Good work, Amrath.
That was their purpose, after all. What
Yeah.
they're made for.
Yeah, I don't think Emissary is gonna send a message one way or the other to Valignith, you know? Doesn't have anything.
Maybe one of you might just pick up like a whereabouts, might be like, oh yeah, by the way, Worms Hamlet has said that you have sent like a please help. Just in general, they feel stuck in the middle of a lot of bad stuff, and apparently a couple of hunters have been grabbed by living trees that broke them in pieces and stuffed them in through holes in the bark. So that's pretty messed up. There's like the Spellscarred seem to not be too restrained anymore in terms of the Hamlet. They're looking at it more and more hungrily. While they're pretty sure that people are being burned alive over there. And now, like, an adventurer came and flew like fireballs around the camp from Elm, and that's not really that peaceful or de-escalating either. Yeah. Worms Hamlet, they are not, like, at this point, like, they might just make a break for it and, like, flee north to get out of this place.
Yeah.
They like their home. It's a nice place and such, but basically, the dragons said they would protect it, right? Till Raxus did, at least. And now they basically say, come, please, do something. This is bad.
It would be a shame if the only town that's sort of on our side just ran away.
I'd be, like, I would be willing, and this is totally Emissary in, like, you know, the PR spin here of, you know, she wants to look good at the end of this, actually be willing to help them evacuate, just, like, get, like, rafts or whatever, put them on there, and, like, transport them by water to, like, near Elm, and then let them disperse into Cormyr.
No, I'd actually like to properly protect them so they stay there. They're sort of nearby to us and having a town, you know.
I think that's a really, like, for you to want to do that now, whenever shit is this dire for them, is just, how are we going to protect them from, like, their bad food situation, which they have, trees, like, lurking in the shadows to, like, devour them, the Spellscarred camp, like, how are we going to do that, Sheep?
I mean, I don't know.
I just don't, like, I don't see a way in which we can, like, they're not doing anything, they're not paying us anything, like we said that we would, like, help them in exchange for, like, we were going to make use of them, well, not all of us, but certain interested parties, and we've never made use of the location. Like, the value to us is, it hasn't been utilized, so why does it matter to defend it?
I mean, I have an interest in the place as a proof that human settlements that associate themselves with us actually have a good time, which currently it's the opposite.
Yes, it's a very bad time. Basically, they can't really leave, and they don't really have. They can fish a little bit, but even the fish around there, due to the Bonewash Beach, those fish have been, like, they're long, sort of dragon eels. It's not. The reason they haven't left probably because it's really dangerous to go out. Like,
right. Like, you made mention last session of, like, a few have, like, sent, like, their families to try to go to Elm and, like, brave the dangers of traveling.
Chances are, like, if they could, like, their ideal scenario would be to get out of, you know, of course, every problem solved in the world and get, like, a new bone carver and a new source of valuable bone. That would be optimal. But bearing that sort of fantastical scenario, just getting out and, like, getting to Tessir, and then maybe, like, they could sell the sword they have to, like, pay for everyone's passage to get, like, to Cormyr for a new life. That would probably be what they would go for. They don't have a whole lot of much, really, and they don't. ideally they would not want to be just homeless people sort of living in the filth of Tissir, which is a merchant city where money sort of determines everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. If you can come up with a good idea in which we will, like, in the session, like, work towards bolstering these folks now, Sheep, I'm willing to hear it. Otherwise, I'm going to expend them.
I mean, what are the problems that are currently haunting them? There's the Spellscar that are getting reckless, the trees, and the general situation that they can't leave and don't really have a source of food.
Mm-hmm. Beyond that, someone's been found like murdered in their house. One of the hunters who had been out straying quite far actually, and was really good at bringing back food. He had been very strange for a few days, and then he was found with the back of his head blown out. It rose quite a stir. People were not happy, but like they haven't had the time really to dwell on that with all the other shit going on too.
Oh yeah,
who knows which are the horrors that sort of has done that.
Frank and Imizure would share with Valigneth that since that's happening in Worm's Hamlet, that there's creatures in Elm who are experiencing the same problem. She found a few dwarves from the Underdark north of her lair who had the same problem. There's probably creatures in the valley who've had the same problem. Of missing the backs of their heads.
So some of the people in Elm, there's even talking. No one really knows who is saying it or who wants to do it, but people have heard and found little information bits about. Apparently, some people are saying that underground, deep under the earth, there's a place that needs like human workers who can offer them shelter and food and a place to be in. And
it's safety. like
and
intellect devour shenanigans, isn't it?
If you will go, you but have to let everyone know, and then they will, together the community can move underground.
Sheep. This should start happening before Jonas left the group, and I'm not sure whether it's the Aboleth or fucking Alithids or the Spellscar Kingdom. I don't know which of the aberration forces it is.
But it doesn't sound half bad. I mean, even if it sounds kind of crazy,
if you're
people
desperate.
That's advocating that. I mean, it can be worse. What could possibly be worse? Than starving in your house with being eaten by trees. I mean,
and Sheep. I also have no idea how to address that.
Yeah, that's one that I really don't have an idea for. But what is the point of Amaranth's trees if they attack things that we want to keep?
Well,
I mean,
I don't really care that much about Worm's Hamlet, so
I think I actually care a decent amount, because if there's the idea of Valigneth collecting vessels, that suggests a protection, and Worm's Hamlet, more or less unofficially, were the first people who are okay with us. So I have a great interest in actually showing up and at least making an effort.
Well, I mean, a way to start, or at least protecting someone from the trees, would be to destroy the bridge. The trees can move through the water, but as the water gets thicker, they might just prefer not to.
That's true. What with the surging water that'll be happening with the melting of the snow and the mudslides.
The bridge is not in great state right now, but it's somewhat broad. It's used by caravan. It was used by caravans for the most part before the spells got sort of put an end to that. And
no one has been using this thing at all. If you are going to bring lizard folk up to the surface, you're not going to be using that bridge. I know that you wanted to use like Worm's Hamlet as a staging area.
Yeah, well,
Imizure just doesn't want to have a conversation about the tree. She doesn't want to talk about it.
I mean, Emma would probably, he doesn't want to talk about it either, because he's kind of a little bit ashamed when it comes to it. But if pressed, it would probably be something like an argument saying that, well, it's only really a threat to sedentary people who might need the lesson in survival anyway. You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're just weak and should be culled from the herd anyway. The sick
Yeah.
lambs should be killed so that the whole can be stronger.
I mean, if Velignov gets wind that Worm's Hamlet is explicitly asking for help, then
oh yeah, both. But
Oh yes.
yeah,
then
you absolutely.
he is gonna
Very-
show up and make an effort. If those damn trees serve no actual purpose to us other than being a general unguided nuisance,
I mean,
then he's, they're trees. Trees burn.
Yeah.
That's good.
They do burn.
well,
Also
these are-
spread like horrible seed pods and stuff.
Emrev has been a good guy to us, but his philosophy that those who can't defend themselves deserve to perish isn't exactly true, because these people were smart enough to associate themselves with us, with Velignov. He's gonna provide protection, and eventually they'll return the value. It's correct that we haven't really made use of the place yet, but in like Dragon time, they basically just agreed to do things for us yesterday.
I mean, Emrith thought would be that it's a waste of time and effort to protect them, and that no value they can provide would ever be good enough to actually help.
I mean, the value they provide is proof that
Actually be there.
if you associate yourself with dragons, good things happen, and that's important.
I really.
It's a PR stunt.
Like I get the intent there. I'm just thinking of how like other like entities would interpret Worm's Hamlet, and I don't think of it as unless they were desperate people, much like these folks are. Maybe it's not so bad.
These folks should reach out to the Red Dragon and be like, "Help, save us, please.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone, save us, please."
But if you're looking to build off this as a hope for like building your cult or something, then by all means go for it.
Yeah, that's sort of the idea. Not just the cult, but the future.
Yeah.
It'll only really work if people agree to submit, and they'll only do that if that actually seems like a reasonable option.
I mean, as for Missouri, I don't know whether she wants to go hunting those fucking trees, man. Like, it's not really her problem, and like, if the bridge can just be destroyed, it's not like she needs a bridge. Nobody always uses the bridge. Like, tree hunting? Like, they can never reach her. She flies.
Yeah.
Sort of a
Well,
Balar.
might have some ranged option, but certainly not long range enough to hit anything that flies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the bridge gets destroyed, then if the trees stay on the southern side, then Volkord's expedition's bound to encounter them, and this really doesn't have to be an us problem.
Yeah. Though on the other hand, I mean, if they can go north, right, they can hurt more civilization, and who knows? I mean, Ambreth did say that with some, if there's enough plague cultists to eat, they might establish a new sort of grove nearby and sort of spread across the land. They could spread north and continue doing this across the Dragon Coast. I mean, ideally, they could begin breaking.
Okay.
Take a while, but
Missouri is willing to go to Worm's Hamlet in the interest of being there with Velignov. But as for the actual step of going out to do combat there, no. She doesn't want it to be a thing that she goes north of the river to fight in her dragon form. She doesn't want that information getting out. This is not where her hunting grounds are. She doesn't want creatures to feel compelled to go into her hunting grounds.
I mean,
She'll also convey that should Worm's Hamlet wish to be evacuated and leave at any moment should they choose that, that can be done, but the voice of the tyranny will have to give up the armaments he's been allowed to keep, because he will no longer be acting as our voice. That would basically be the price of her evacuating them. And
which means that wherever they went, they would be homeless beggars.
Yep.
Most past their prime.
Yep.
How many people live in Worm's Hamlet?
It's not a. It's like 100 people.
It's a little village, the hamlet, as it's called.
I mean, if push comes to shove, there's a certain place in the mountains that would probably have enough space.
It's like, what do you know how to do? Farm and fish. Look around.
There's the. I mean, it's protected by the citizen militia, and then like a couple of at this point sort of semi-elderly like
You know,
guards. And
you know-
they used to have like money, and they used to have a like an actual sort of
Yeah.
defensive force, but
it,
they sort of just settled down there after a while and have families now, and so
Hmm.
like they don't really get paid anymore, and sort of.
yeah.
But
I am amused that that you, in your character having advocated like wrecking face of the folks who work with Dragonbone, now wish to aid them, and me, the person who advocated diplomacying the situation to vassalize them.
No, that
I'm now like, fuck them. This is great.
that was not me. You're confusing Velignov with Taraxos. Velignov was never against the people working with Dragonbone. It's just yet another resource.
That's not how I recall the situation, but all right.
It was definitely like that. Taraxos was very, very against it. Velignov was intrigued by the craftsmanship. Like, of course, it's a bit, perhaps, blasphemous from our perspective, but in the end, they're just bones. They're not us.
the other dragon.
There would be a
Yeah,
difference if they actively went out to hunt dragons, but they just found a site where two of them killed each other.
They could never. I could never do that. They have militia. They have a couple of like big wolf dogs. A couple archers. Well, actually, a single archer. Now looking at it. Yeah. It's a hamlet. It's simply there. They have a very valuable magic item they were allowed to keep. But that's pretty much all. I think with that, I mean that basically brings the speaker into silence. Like, at that point they could try to weather the storm here, but he would basically have to make the choice of leave and make everyone he knows and cares about into beggars, or stay and see them sort of die day by day, not knowing when that'll end.
Leave it to the asshole dragon to make those people make those choices, as much as we made them make the choice the first time around.
Oh yeah. He sacrificed the guy who turned out to have been hiding a treasure that had they might just have left to begin with.
Mm-hmm. But no, we both can be there as dragons present, but Sheep, I'm like, we're kind of bad at odds with this. How do you want to pursue this?
So my perspective on the place is basically not so much that Velignov cares about them, but he considers them his.
Right.
Sounds so terrible to say. He considers them his property in a sense, like part of his hoard.
We've conveyed our intent, how we feel about that, and
Yeah.
we're opposed on that front. What are we gonna what do you want to do about it in the game?
Could be a long-term project to hunt down what trees remain. If you burn the bridge, I mean.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what I'm leaning towards. Like those trees, I mean, they're not good for us. They are, in fact, currently actively bad for us. And Emmy doesn't seem incredibly invested in them.
I mean, she doesn't want to fucking have a talk about them. She doesn't have anything to do with them. I mean, don't know what you're fucking talking about, like trees that hunt and thing. That's not our problem.
Bad men, ridiculous.
No, that's fine. She doesn't have to take credit or, accept responsibility. But if can take care of them, and that's that.
Dragons don't accept responsibility.
Exactly.
Now,
He doesn't
actually
expect that.
the murderous grove would be a different thing. That tree in there has grown big and thick and strong.
I think
Yeah.
stopping them for now would be good enough.
Yeah, that is not a trivial thing to get rid of that.
Yeah, when Imizure immediately saw that, she was like, "Nope."
And perhaps as step 2 in helping Worm's Hamlet, like the plague camps are actively, in conflict with Elm, which Velignov would also like to be in conflict with. So maybe he could, hire himself out to the plague camp and join that little fight. He would at the same time direct them away from Worm's Hamlet as part of the deal, and get to, fight Elm. That sounds
Welcome
fun.
with open arms.
For an appropriate
They have
price, of course.
one dragon, and they're very excited that another one wishes to.
Yeah, that's definitely like a line that Imizure can't go. Oh no.
That another one wishes to join.
Oh no.
They've
This is
even
terrible.
heard from. Well, it turns out actually they know quite a lot about you.
It's a my enemy's enemy situation. It's not like
They would actually know pretty damn a whole lot at this point.
They will even inform you that Voristrix, their friend and ally, has invited them to live deep underground. So currently, really, he should really meet with Mayor Albrecht
oh, sure.
and speak about this as as two allies, as friends,
Got a bit far.
if not adopted family.
That's way too far.
Yeah, let me just find the good mayor.
Oh no. This is not where I saw this
Yeah.
session going at all.
I'm excited to get to finally talk to
Oh.
mighty, friendly creature.
Oh.
Things are moving fast in the camp these days. A lot is going on,
Imizure watches like Velignov depart Worm's Hamlet with like a mournful expression.
Yeah, Mail. He's inquisitors around here too. The old man smiling warmly. He's Velignov. He seems as strong and tough as ever, as if the stress of the current situation hasn't touched him a single little. Introduced, a warm smile, and say something like, "I had always hoped that I would get to speak to you in our home. You see, I admire your nature. It's fiery, strong. It is something I could only wish to possess myself."
I think the fire
I'm
you
excited to know
appreciate is.
We have interests together.
I think the fire you appreciate is different from mine. Let us not consider this anything else other than my enemy's enemy being my ally in this case, potentially. I have a quarrel with Elm, as do you. I can see myself assisting you for a certain set of terms and an appropriate price, of course.
The truth should be given out freely. I would not feel confident asking you to do anything in return for it. In fact, I would provide it to you as I see it, much as I've done to your brother. In fact, I think we could do something special for you. You are not your brother, you're different. You have different desires and different ambitions. I can certainly understand that. Smiles slightly again. Whenever he smiles, it's almost like he looks into the middle distance, as if he's hearing someone talk inside his head.
Velignov tilting his head slightly. I think you're not exactly understanding what I'm offering. I want neither truth nor whatever it is you're offering. I want payment to fight with you. It's a simple enough deal.
He nods. Of course it is. However, I believe you're a craftsman. You understand very well to arm your warriors with the best possible tools. I think similarly. I have trained my people well, and I would like to show you what we can do and to show you what benefit you could have from it. Perhaps, if you would allow me to, it would be a humble thing to see Dragon ever utilize something that I might have been able to teach you. Perhaps, though, you will find that what we have to show is nothing compared to your existing strength. In that case, I, of course, didn't expect you to stay around for long.
I have no interest in being taught whatever it is you use here. However, I would not object to a demonstration, if it is what you fancy.
Just perhaps a demonstration would be good. What better demonstration than to burn something of Elm? Wouldn't that be something? A tree went up in flames, I understand. Overzealous people. Perhaps the next time it could be more coordinated, more concentrated, more on purpose.
Yes, that would be good.
I really do mean it. Say that I would want to be your friend.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
I admire your strength, your capability, and I think we could learn a lot from each other.
You're allowed to admire me, but that is where I draw the line. I'm going to be entirely truthful when I say that whatever fire it is you possess, I don't appreciate its existence, but that does not change the fact that you are currently fighting an enemy of mine, hence why I'm here. Let us not try to draw conclusions about possible friendships that don't exist.
And yet I know so much about you, Velignith. I really do think we have a lot in common. In fact, bite his lips. You possess great skill, craftsmanship. Skill that, given the right tools, the astrolabe, you see, it could ask questions of the same entities that we ask our questions from. It could create things. Even the greatest of ancient beings have come to this place to gain that knowledge, and we live just at the cusp of it. Soon, in just a few years, the layers will thin, and inspiration from beyond will flood the valley. Creation beyond imagining. I would want to cooperate with you to. I mean, it is going ahead of ourselves, perhaps, but to think of what we could make together. Dragon and someone to interpret the wills of the beyond. Most create marvels here from simply giving in to the madness of it, but we wouldn't have to.
Do you know about this event? Its source. It sounds like you know quite a bit.
Oh, you see, I am but the humble caretaker, if you will, of our flock here. Gestures out across him the camp. There are things involved in this endeavor that are far beyond my understanding. Beings that can benevolently guide our kind to greater existence, to better ourselves.
What kind of beings?
But if you wish to meet them, it's certainly a possibility.
I have no interest in meeting them. I wish to know what they are.
That is a very difficult question to convey, yet I know they could convey it to you in a mere second.
I think you can use your
understanding of the self.
you can't use your words to convey the meaning, then I have no interest in using other means.
You have never found something you could not put words upon and hit the exact meaning?
I have found many things that I do not care to know the meaning of. In this particular case, I care enough to grow angry if someone tries to force something upon me that I don't want. What I want to know is what you know about this event and its source. You talk about a being. Is it connected to the spell plague? To your blue fire?
He seems to say the blue fire is a blessing given to us as a consequence, as a knowledge. It comes as a universe's reaction to knowing the truths of said universe. We know more than everyone else, hence we are marked by it. There are other things that know the truths of the universe, that can speak the words of creation. Beings that the gods are afraid of, because they love their dominion over all of mankind, and all of dragonkind, for that matter. We simply have learnt some of these truths through absence or neglect, I do not know. And we use them to interpret the universe in new ways, to learn, to study, to understand, to create.
I actually want to invoke Valignus Compulsion here. Only in destruction is the truth revealed. Blue fire destroys. It's an exercise of the truth. Sounds like they're very similar. This whole Spellscard thing and what Valignus does. Hey, this guy's actually your friend after all. He just wants to be.
Friendly.
Set shit on fire. Gets truth. You set shit on fire. You get truth. Simpatico.
No, I can't accept that one.
Right.
Simply because, while yes, generally I would agree, but he's also disrespecting the gods, one of which I care about in particular. And that is a fact that is not escaping Valignus here. Besides, he'll say, while continuing to tilt his head in skepticism,
Resist the compulsion.
I frankly don't care about the truth of the world, not the current truth anyways. When there is in fact a truth, I will force upon it, which I know very well. So let us stay on a level of business, shall we? You want Elm destroyed, I want Elm destroyed. Seems like there's something to be made of that. There's not going to be something that unites you and me in any other way. In fact, I think your blue fire is an ugly thing that I want nothing to do with. It is fire, but not. It is complicated. I hate complicated.
Well, I will simply say that the truth is very simple. It is very simple, once understood. Yet, who am I to talk? I don't understand all of it myself. I would not be here in my current, situation. Oh, you wish to destroy Elm? We wish Elm to leave us alone, primarily. If we cannot do so, we will teach them that it is a bad idea to anger us. Before we planned to go underground, we had an image to preserve, but as we leave the surface, we have less of such. We need them to leave us alone until we can leave, probably. Those people who might not come with us, and who might stay here, well, they will have to fare somewhat on their own, I suppose. It will be unfortunate for the nearby settlements, but we cannot simply bring everyone.
The people of Elm are very determined to enforce their idea of security. I don't think they will leave you alone without an appropriately strong message. Again, hence why I'm here.
Yes, indeed. You wish to burn part of Elm, perhaps, for us?
That is the idea.
And what would you want in return, if not the truth we carry, which is the most valuable thing we have? What else would you wish from us?
There's, of course, the presumably second most valuable thing you carry, which is valuables. And a condition that as long as we work together, you will not in any way, shape, or form influence the people of Worm's Hamlet negatively in any way whatsoever. That includes taking their hunting grounds or their people, or harming them in any way whatsoever. Worm's Hamlet, I have an interest in.
To harm anyone.
Well,
My voice is one that only speaks words of peace, of progress, of learning from past mistakes. If the people of Elm come to me and ask for salvation, I shall tell them that such is a difficult road. I shall tell them that I can help them see for themselves, to decide for themselves, to be more than they are. I've been forbidden from doing such an invitation so far, but I certainly never intend to harm one.
It is not about the intent of your actions, but the fact that your presence near them worries them. And as the village is under my control, in my possession, I would rather they do not feel offended by your presence. Hence why I am offering my services in return for appropriate payment and a deal that'll please everyone. How about that?
Oh, I certainly am amiable to any deal that pleases everyone.
How about then you save your words and either agree to my terms and my payment, or you tell me that you cannot agree to them, in which case I'll just leave, saving us many hours of philosophical discussions that I don't care about.
Of course I will agree. I mean, how could I not?
How could you not, exactly?
Your power. No, I'm simply thinking of the detail. I'm already past agreeing. I'm sorry if I skipped ahead. I have a tendency to move faster than others, perhaps. I am eager, if you will. Yes, I believe you fly, and that is a benefit others could not say. If we were to send you out, we would do so along with some of our friends, the noble harpies, creatures who certainly have benefited from their knowledge and what they gained from the spell. Or rather, the spell event. They fly as well, and they speak fire. We have thought to send them along to singe the top of Elm's largest tree, to show them that such a thing they cannot stop. Perhaps then, knowing what they are risking, they will cease and think logically about this. We have offered them friendship many times. We have no desire to see anyone hurt over this. And singeing the tree is certainly a way to get their attention without directly harming it.
I'd expect.
I would be much more confident for such a thing if you were to follow them. You being seen with the harpies is also a great message.
Message indeed. I don't care so much about what message my presence sends, as long as the tree of Elm burns in its entirety.
Might be a bit early. It is a very large tree, as I understand. However, singeing it would do as well, and we would certainly be able to pay you somewhat for service. What are your rates?
What are my rates? I don't know.
typically the dragon does provide like this is what I want, and
Give me this.
Well, the issue is that I have no concept of value as a player. Do I ask for 50 gold or 50,000? I don't know.
Mayor Albrecht doesn't want to insult the dragon that he admires so much by like lowballing you here.
Mhm.
And it is a refugee camp. I mean, can't have that much money. They have the truth.
I mean, surely Velignov could think of an appropriate rate for this situation, but I cannot.
I mean, that sounds like okay. I mean, generally dragons don't do mercenary work, really, but appropriate rate. Yeah. I mean, you know what I could help you with? I could help you have an idea of what kind of money they might have.
If I were a level 12 adventurer being hired to perform a task, what are the going rates for a level 12?
How much money would be offered?
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What would that be? That'd be like a streetwise check to know pricing of a local environment. I think.
Sure. Let's see how wealthy they look.
Yeah, no, they don't look wealthy. They don't wear a lot of wealthy looking stuff. I mean, he's a dragon, right? People like it wouldn't be in terms of 100 gold. Like that's nothing to him. I mean, 1,000 plus, probably at least, maybe.
Sure. Like, it's really not about the amount, but the principle, you know. So it's a bit of a ploy to have a force to attack Elm with, which he doesn't care about, and also benefit from it at the same time, and also get it away from Worm's Hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of additional benefits to actually doing this, rather than just the money.
He just really wants to be friends, you know? Just so friendly.
So he'll basically try to estimate as well as he could how wealthy these people are, and then ask for all of it.
All right. I want all of your money.
Yeah.
Response. I would be loathsome to deliver all of it. I'm sure your brother Forestix would be very disappointed if you were to show up to him empty-handed. I could offer you a decent sum, however, if gold is what you're truly interested in. I would not want to insult you, and I do not know that we have enough to really care you what you're worth, so any amount I would offer you would simply be a token. I hope you would interpret the values as such.
I think I shall interpret your gifts rather than counting it. As long as my conditions are met. I want Elm Street to burn. I want Worm's Hamlet to stop being worried about your presence, as well as, in fact, being negatively impacted by your presence.
We will soon leave to go underground. So Worm's Hamlet will have nothing more to fear. Entirely
Excellent.
gone. There'll be nothing there. As for Elm, I again would wish to send a message. I have no interest in burning the whole city down. Even if some of them might want to see us gone, we will soon be gone. And that is no small part for not desiring to have any more trouble from them. We were close to having a working relationship.
Right.
I fear that they simply are not ready to accept us. However, sending a message with your aid would not be too costly for us in terms of our people. You would be unlikely to take any lasting harm from such a thing, and the Harpies are, well, less eager to move underground than others. Singing of fire across the top of the tree, there would be no need for landing, and scorching and burning the many leaves could fall down upon the citizens and show them that they should not push further west.
I suppose that's acceptable.
No, it's beyond that. I will make sure to offer you a tribute, you say. I shall have to dig up some of our valuables and see what we have to offer. Many of our locals, people of the camp, have donated minor trinkets to the cause, and we have reserved them for such a time as they should be needed. But of course, a creature such as you, marvelous being, would require proper respect. Had I known you'd be coming, I would have, of course, prepared this beforehand. Would that be satisfactory?
Had you known that I was coming, you certainly could have. But you should always expect my coming, as you are very close to where I lair. It is only logical to assume that I take an interest in those who are close to me, physically, geographically.
We'll be closer to your lair soon. Perhaps then we can hope to see more visits.
Perhaps you shall.
Have a great interest, you see. There's many lizard folk below, I was informed, and though we have attempted for goblins to bear the scar, they were unable to comprehend the truth, and so could not be saved. No, we merely... I would be very curious to see how it would spread and mark on such other creatures. I see a great future for us. Cooperation and unity. I have never wanted anything else.
Whatever your dreams and aspirations, let us focus on Elm first. If you agree to my terms, well, then we should get going rather soon.
Yeah, no, of course. I shall see to it. I shall speak to the harpies and inspire them. Ask them for this favor, for all times.
You do that.
Yeah. And he will go do that. Does William want to stick around in the camp, or does he want
to? No, this place is borderline sickening.
You can see the many pyres around. All the trees around the area has been chopped down. They even dug up a lot of peat. That seems to have been why they've been down by Worm's Hamlet to dig peat in the southern area here. Though the trees emerging and eating them sort of stopped them somewhat. They're running out of woods to burn.
Willinger's going to take care of that bridge first, and then go back to Worm's Hamlet and tell them that they're saved. Hooray!
Love that. Missouri just napping basically in the town square as Valina comes back. You're saved, hooray! I think Valina flies away. And Missouri looks suspiciously at him. It's he flies away. Closes her eye. Contemplates what she wants to do with this damn village.
Yeah. He can return and declare they're safe. There's thank you, mighty dragon, but it's clearly skeptical.
That's fine. Its actions speak louder than words. But I can appreciate that.
It's a matter of whether they appreciate it.
Well, they better do.
Mm-hmm. Now he can go and help some harpies with scorching the top of the elm tree to really just calm down the citizens of Elm and make them more respectful.
That'll work for sure.
I want to make it clear. I have no problem with what's going to transpire. I just didn't expect it at the start of the session, and so I am incredibly amused.
Yeah.
I didn't expect the forces you would attack Elm with would end up being spell-scarred harpies of all people.
I didn't either.
Oh, this is great. This is immersion storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you what, while Valignif is gone on his grand excursion, I think Ambizure will start, working on the folks that, her offer does stand. They've worked to protect. She would, willingly help them relocate. Obviously, the voice of the tyranny would have to give up the armaments. Naturally, however, if they do not wish to disperse back, through Elm and to Dazir and Westgate or what have you, they'd be welcome to stay, with her, there are some affairs that she can't tend to directly. But they would be like, instead of like out here like sort of quasi-independent doing a thing, like she's got like some farmland, they can fish over there. They'd be more like and she would seek to convey this in like indirect terms, like more like servants, like directly like under her exposure. She'd be able to watch over them more directly, but freedom and independence would be not so present. Yeah. Limited.
Yeah,
but food and opportunities.
Food and opportunities sound pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Though they were just told that they were saved.
Mm-hmm.
Just now.
Yeah.
But they have to give up the sword.
Yeah, they would.
Well. For now, I think they'll stay with the promise that they've been saved. Probably not keeping many people or giving many people good sleep at night, but it's good to know. It's good.
Yeah.
They hope something will come from that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's certainly people who look at that green dragon, and
the friendliest and kindest of the dragons.
They're not known to be super trust. It's usually like people trusted the green dragon, then it went bad for them. But not usually, like more like in ironic ways. Where the red dragon is like it killed and burned everyone and then ate everybody, and then
yeah.
Destruction came to everyone, but
so they need to take the lesser of the two evils here. Trust the red dragon that the problem's been solved. Trust the green.
People will tend to do nothing if they can get away with it. Yeah, and trust that things will be solved by other people. That's always out of sight, out of mind. Yeah.
Fucking civilization.
Yeah. What amethyst they're stagnant and need to die. So he doesn't not actively need to die. Does not be protected. Then they'll grow strong or they will perish.
She's gonna sleep here for the night though, while Valignif is out on his grand expedition that she doesn't know about. She'll actually just sleep in the town square for the night.
Yeah.
Everyone can come hug and take selfies with the dragon. And
yeah.
if there's any kobolds around, they can throw themselves into her mouth.
There's no kobolds in the city. They probably wouldn't want him. And most of the time, there's sort of little. The city has a gate. It's not like a gatehouse or anything. It's more like a wooden door in a stone.
Yeah, I remember.
Like a boulder wall, but it's there, and they keep it closed most of the time. So you could easily climb over the wall, but
it'll serve to reinforce. Whenever the three dragons landed to speak with them ever so long ago, who among it was among them was so kind to them, and right here, right now. Who can they trust? The red dragon who flies in and says you're saved, or the green dragon who stays there for the night?
Well, the green dragon is staying there. That's a good thing, but also a unnerving thing.
Oh, well, I mean,
because if there was a fight, and it might just trash houses and so forth.
It's true.
It's collateral damage for dragons.
Man, it must be hard to be such a person who's so full of worry about it.
They saw that beach, and that was completely ripped up from fights so long ago.
They asked for help and they got it. What are they complaining about?
They had a great life for years and years and years. They were wealthy. They had everything. They could order anything they needed from Tessier. And now they don't have any money, and things are sort of. It seems that being wealthy really solves a lot of problems.
All right, let's move on to Valignif's grand adventure.
Yeah.
With the harpies that had their stones kicked over.
Yeah, they're not happy about that. There's more harpies here than you might have expected from just being around. Yeah, how does he want to approach it?
Basically, the idea is whatever they wanted to do, he'll tag along, act as a force multiplier. They can tell him what to do if they like, as long as it involves attacking Elm. He's okay with it.
Their plan is to gather a group, fly over the city high up, then dive down through the clouds and begin singing burning songs across the top branches of the tree, where none of the archers or some such from below can really reach them, or see them for that matter. that will make the golden leaves curl up and burn and fall down to the ground and scorch the top branches and such, which should send a signal that the city could be burned if they desired to, but they won't. It's like we could do more, but for now, this is just a message. They have no idea that there will be actual, a huge problem with it. So to them, the dragon coming with them is very much a symbolic gesture of like, it's. I think they think it'll mean a lot more if there's a dragon coming. Like that's a big deal.
Yeah, that is a big deal. It's true.
No. He always is. Very.
But they don't actually expect to need Valigna's help. Like this is going to be a demonstration. We're going to go.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
No issues at all. That's how it always works out. Yeah. So if he wants to tag along with that, then I can't reveal it's not actually going to be so easy.
Yeah.
But who could have imagined?
I mean, the thought is basically that he gets to take part in the fighting. The worst thing would be if either the Spellsguard or if Elm burned without his involvement. That would be the worst thing. So he wants to at least make sure that he was there at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can help escalate things, then that's even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, real question is, that would generally be a fight, right? As it turns out, you're the only dragon there. Now we do have the Harpy Lieutenant. That I could hand over to Grimith, I suppose.
Yeah.
Though the amount of powers is certainly limited.
Me.
As it is by any, as it is by any creature that's not a PC. But if you'd like that, Grimith, then
yeah, I have no problem with that.
Then you can control the Harpies and then actually attack Elm.
Sure, I'll live vicariously through these assholes who have Spellsguard.
Mm-hmm.
Never minding that this was entirely my fucking plan to begin with. This is my fault. Again, dragons don't take responsibility.
We'll have a group led by Hestia. Right.
When you get mobbed by those fucking Sturges that are drunk off of the tree, I just want you to remember.
I do expect Sturges.
Yeah. Say how bad can it really be?
I mean, they're Sturges. We dunked on them like when we were just babies, so it couldn't possibly be bad.
Nothing else. You do know that some of these guys have an aura of flame that is highly weak.
Oh yes, it's almost like I'm familiar with having harpy minions.
All right, let's go here. Let's actually do it over Elm, shall we?
Yeah.
We don't actually have. I don't have a map with all the just treetop, but you can imagine that there's leaves everywhere. Well, we could do it over here. There's a bunch of trees.
Are they going to be attacking? Are y'all going to be attacking during the night to like light up the sky? Like, what kind of effect are we going for?
The night would be more cinematic, wouldn't it?
It would be. Yeah. A dragon attacking a place at night to light it up. That's never happened before in cinema.
No, never.
And they pull out the giant ballista with the special tipped bolt or the arrow or what have you.
I'm just gonna together here.
No, your one damage scale, sheep. Your one damage scale. The one weakness in your armor. They shot it. No.
Got like this large black arrow for some reason.
No, right?
Who wouldn't build ballista when you know dragons? Let's do it here. This seems fine. There's lots of golden treetop. God, so many people are moving. Right. None.
Before we go though, let me not forget to spend the healing surge.
You took a full rest,
Oh, we took full
imagine.
rest even.
so I mean,
True,
you slept
we had
for
a
10
downtime.
days. So I feel like that's you can,
Yeah.
you can be ready.
Didn't push anything on the order. But yeah, we ended up keeping some of our powers around just in case, because it is possible that the giants could be like,
Oh, yeah.
aha, we have you
Sure,
now.
Can show up and be like, ah, we're here. We're bad.
Right?
You are bad, it's true. You're terrible.
How dare you? I know. Things could have been so much more fun if you hadn't resisted the compulsion to befriend the mayor. He just wants to be your friend.
No. They are a means to an end and nothing more.
But the truth. They destroy things. They have the truth.
I don't care about the current truth. Like, that's gonna change anyways.
The current truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they agree very much so.
Things will be changing. Yeah.
Like, we have different ideas about the goal, though.
Amenable, and it's all gonna be so nice and wonderful, beautiful. But they know. What are you gonna say? They know that he will be around.
Yes.
He'll be very suspicious of them for a time.
For one day.
That's a big tree.
Yeah, we'll use this as the.
I feel very small in comparison.
It's a huge tree. I mean, the top of it covers like the whole town, pretty much. Yeah, and then we have these guys, and I'll need to know if Grimith, if you can sort of use them.
Looks like I am capable of moving them. Yeah.
All right.
Looks like I have buttons. Yep.
You're playing as Hestia, a very pro play camp harpy, who has risen among the ranks and gotten special insight, and therefore is a bit more powerful in the spell scar and other ways than the rest of them.
All right. Are these harpies willing to die here at Elm if it came to that? Not that they expect to, because this is just an easy mission, but if it came down to it, like,
the harpies will fight as long as Hestia fights. Hestia ideally would not want to die here. The plan is to attack, send a message, and leave. Though she'd be loath to leave without sending the proper message. That would just do bad.
all right. Yeah.
And if anything, they're patriotic. She knows a bit more about the truth of this thing, though, and has aspirations to rise up.
Okay. Got it.
All right. I mean, we can just assume everyone's flying here. I feel like that's a safe bet, at least for now. Yeah. As you move in and fly over the tree, could you give me a perception check?
Sure.
You're flying in high over here. People can't really see you up here. You're above the top. You can't really see much down below. Yeah, you can see. You think there's a lot of things, like a lot of like maybe like thousands actually of like little winged creatures just sort of sitting all across, like in nooks and crannies between branches, and you're sort of stuck there, slightly moving and jittering, holding on. Some of them big and bulbous and fat, and others small. Among the leaves up here, there's also a lot of like what looks like egg sac clusters hanging there, gently waving in the wind, from something that looks kind of like what the inside of the Serpentine Earl's cavern looks.
Statues.
Beyond that, as he gets closer and as he looks down, he'll also notice that the tree seems to react a little bit to his presence as some of the branches grow maybe like a bit thorny and such when he comes around. He's pretty sure if he landed in the tree, it might actually like hurt somewhat.
That does seem like a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. In fact, he might take damage if he ever were to break through the branches as well.
Hmm.
In fact, 2 damage per square if he were to.
2 damage per branch. Square, okay.
And if he were to land on the tree or fall onto the tree, that's the other thing, he would take 5 damage per round.
Well, he has no intention of landing on the tree.
Mm-hmm.
He also has
Sturgis
no intention of falling. Sturgis do like a leg sweep.
Yeah, some bullshit, right?
Pile on
Uh,
the weight.
Sturgis grapple.
Well, certainly a lot of them, they don't really pay attention to you. The chances are they mostly just spent their lives doing this. Hungrily sucking sap and sort of sitting about. Yeah.
Well, the harpies have the initiative here.
Yeah, the harpies get close, filling their directive. That's going to be close enough, I presume, for them to use their belching blue fire attack. So they have to get pretty close to that.
Yeah, I mean, beyond that, just starting to do the song will sort of burn any creatures up here.
Yeah, any creatures, just not the tree itself.
No.
I think if their goal is to set the leaves on fire, they wouldn't do their song right now. Basically, just like a show. Like they would get, they'd fly above as we are in the night. They want to have their spectacle. Hestia doesn't want to like fail her objective. And they would all have to collectively like get close within like the close blast 3. So they'd probably like here, like you go over like here to be like by these leaves, and you go over here to be like by like these leaves, and you go over here to be like these leaves, and then all together like at once, like a sequence to have like a beautiful like firework display. Like, everyone ready, and then like they all fire like their belching blue fire attack at the leaves,
Breathing out flames.
Yep. Which, as an example of how that looks, is that a recharge thing. The trees could be blinded potentially. The blue fire comes out of them. They belch it out.
The recharge. They could do it. They could do it a couple times per minute.
Yeah, it's great. And unimpeded. I mean, they're not looking to burn the entire tree down, but like, all right, great, we did it.
Yeah, circling, flying. And Malignant, does he partake?
Oh yeah, he'll certainly join in with his own breath. Not so much aiming to just singe the top, but trying to really, really burn those, branch clusters that might carry fire well. His intent is really to do some actual damage here.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, well, as the fire begins, like burns, you hear like the hissing and flapping of thousands of wings, as swarms and clusters of oh my, it's a lot of fire. As swarms and clusters of Sturgis basically leave the treetops here. There's more further down, but the ones up here leave it and just like attack really, seemingly maddened at the whole idea that this tree would be harmed. The tree almost leaving like a slight like groan, like the sound of like tree sort of being twisted slightly, like bent, almost as if there's some sort of movement, and like a rumble down through the sort of the central trunk, if you will. It probably wakes a lot of people around the city. It's time for initiative. Maybe I'll have to do the heartbeat.
Looks like I'm able to press the button. So you want to have each individual plague changed harpy? Do you want to all act as a group together?
Why don't you just? I think that we'll give you guys.
What? Why don't I? What? I didn't hear you.
Why don't you just roll them?
Okay, got it. We have. Oh, you're right. Only you can do it. Only the GM can perform add to initiative.
The same macro deal.
Yep.
Well, there we go. Sort. As these swarms basically appear, and moving, they're rather fast, at flight at least, and rather aggressive. And right now, how it works for them is they just fly up to you, and then at the beginning of your turn, they attack.
Oh no.
So they just sort of move in. As basically from below, just like a swarm of them appear. Up. Harpy 2, or 3, as it were.
Yeah. I think Harpy 3 will immediately begin like erupting into song. Like, like call of these creatures. Will it count as all of their belching blue fires have been expended? So should I start rolling recharge rolls?
Yes, please.
Okay, I can do that. She does not have hers back. Okay, move speed for you is you're on NPC properties. Let me look at their stat block. Is a 6, fly clumsy 8.
Oh yes, of course you wouldn't see the.
Yeah, I would need to swap them to PC properties, which I can do. Just we go like that. So as a move action, that could take her like here. It's not this turd. The tree's not fully burned yet. She's confident. She's singing. She will attempt to claw this swarm of sturges. Like so. Hiya!
Yeah, no, that's not enough to actually get them.
Oh
These
no!
appear strong, almost like they've bark sort of stuff covering their skin, as if little bits of the tree sort of grown on them,
Oh no!
making it part of them.
She ends her turn. Like the song continues, but she's confused. She's never seen sturges like this before.
Yeah. Just imagine. Getting a turn. Let's
So-
take 8. Sorry.
That Sturge will have started its turn within 20 of Plague Change Harpy 3, who started singing, so we'll have taken 5 fire damage. And then Hystea starts her turn next to the Swarm. Okay, yeah, that definitely hits her.
Blood-sucking swarm attack.
Oh no. 12 damage and ongoing 5. I can use this automatic damage macro.
Just imagine now.
Yeah, tragic. Okay,
Oh, wait. The end. Beginning of the turn.
okay.
Yeah, as Sturges basically just swarm up in like a cloud of red and gold.
Ah!
Actually covering people. Like they just sort of drink the blood, but they almost like spew it out. Like the blood is less worth to them than the sap they normally feed on. It's more just to get it out of you.
All right. She absolutely does recharge hers. She begins singing as well, though that stuff doesn't overlap. As her standard action, I think if I select that as a close blast, 3. Good. Properly selected the blast template. Grimmeth. Oh no, that other Sturge form is just out of reach. Well, no matter. Hystea knows the truth, and she wants to set more of the tree on fire anyway. So she'll direct this blast down into the swarm. 25 versus Fortitude.
Yes, it certainly does it.
11 fire damage.
That is
More
a
because there's.
blast, which they're weak to.
And they are blinded.
Cinders of the blue smoke fills their eyes.
And,
Surge cannot see.
Yes, since they cannot see, she'll fly away. She doesn't have to be right next to them. She'll just sing them to death.
It's true.
She'll go like over here. Yeah. Be next to her
Yes.
buddy.
It's in fact an excellent.
Yeah, I see that she can fly.
She can hover easily.
Yeah, I see that she can fly 10 instead of 8 like the normal harpies. Cool. Yeah.
That's
right.
so fast.
We have this one who also takes a blood-sucking attack.
Oh no, that definitely hits her. No. She takes 9 damage. I suppose I should have rolled a save for Hystea for ongoing damage. That is a success? Is it 10 or 11?
10 or
10.
higher.
Alright, yeah, she clears that. Anyway, yeah, that Sturge Swarm will do 9 damage. Then the ongoing 5. Okay. Plague Change Harpy 1. I need to roll to see whether she recharges her ability. She does. She will do the same thing. Belching Blue Fire. Get more of the tree. And then the stupid swarm. 25 versus Fortitude.
It hits, yeah.
Alright, 7 fire damage, and the target is blinded. And, through the power of the buddy system, she'll, as that Sturge Swarm is blinded, she will go try to fly closer to be with Plague Change Harpy 3. She will roll a save. She will fail.
The swarm will attack. Well, they're actually next to. So did I move them, or I did on accident? No, I guess they have all done things. I don't know. I guess yeah, she moved over there.
Yeah, I moved to attack.
They'll stick around.
Hmm.
You know, they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. Swarm should have also taken
They should
5.
take fire
Yeah,
damages.
they're 5 fire damage. Yeah. Plague Change Harpy
Then
2
Aura.
is actually someone who doesn't have an adjacent partner.
Fire.
She successfully recharges her ability. She will fly her 8 because she needs to keep moving.
Mhm.
And she will not be in range to target with her abilities, but you know what? She keeps recharging this anyway. She'll direct this down into the trees. That's what she's here for. Belching blue fire, the foliage. She erupts in the song.
It hisses, you know, like the unnatural flame lighting fire. Apparently, some of the sap burns pretty well.
All right, delightful. She's done.
Right. He gets attacked, I believe, which misses.
Try to get through. These scales are tough.
Well, he has fought Sturges before, and they are terrible, but they burn well and pop like popcorn, so that's good. He will summon his fire to shield him. With his Shield of the Gods, as he is enveloped by fiery flames to protect him. 30 versus Reflex.
Will hit.
That is 11 force damage, not fire.
Okay.
And it knocks the target prone.
They fall.
No!
We'll say they're prone there. They have to fly upwards again. And you're not adjacent to the base.
Great. And
They're down into the tree. The tree doesn't seem to stab them. Seems
Of
to be
course it
selective thorns.
you know, it's a smart tree. And then he's gonna like fly to where one of the harpies set bits of the tree on fire. And then as a minor action, he'll use his fire affecting abilities to make the fire slightly brighter. Because he can do that.
I see.
More fire.
He can affect normal fire, which maybe this doesn't count as, but maybe part of it
I mean,
does.
it's not
Maybe.
normal when you start it, but then after a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Just his pure presence makes it, you know, roar up ever so slightly more. But that'll be his turn.
Alright.
So let me fix that macro because it's half wrong.
Swarm will take the 5
Blind.
fire damage.
Move slightly. These guys will just spend their turn getting up from prone. You know, as they have to sort of get up in the air again.
Makes sense.
Fallen down, being taken good care of by the branches.
Oh,
Go
it was
ahead.
also a blast, by the way, if that did
Yes,
anything.
I dealt back to shield
Okay.
damage.
Mhm. All right. You have an attack that you need to make? I'm pretty sure. No, that will actually miss Plague Change Harpy. They have an AC of 23. Not bad.
Mhm.
I
They are
will
not bad creatures.
roll recharge. That succeeds. Well, she will fire off her belching blue fire towards the Surge Swarm 3 and the
Won't
leaves.
do it,
And
though.
that won't do it. Oh no. She has to keep moving. Is shift appropriate to still keep her in the air? Or does she actually have to like legit
She can
move?
shift.
Okay.
The rules are really
Yeah.
not that complicated.
All right.
least
Just wanted to
somehow I
make sure.
wanna make
There's
that.
clumsy there. Yeah, she'll like keep fluttering like towards the dragon. The dragon's their great friend. Mayor Albrecht said so. So move here.
They've been with the dragons for a long time.
That's true. Some are better than others. That'll be the end of that harpy's turn.
Yeah.
Swarm 2 has its damages. And poor blinded creatures.
Yes, it's save ends actually, so I should have.
Yeah, it is the save ends.
Yep.
All right, Hestea. She's not taking ongoing damage. So she saves against that. She does not recharge her ability. But it looks like her claws actually cause fire damage.
Oh, yeah, and she can fly by attack too.
She can fly by attack.
She can dive and
I think so. I think with that in mind, she could attack the tree itself, but it looks like it's got some thorns on that. She doesn't need to touch that
Yes.
directly. But she can like flyby attack like this because she has 10 movement. And flyby attack, she doesn't provoke an opportunity attack from the target when moving away from it. So a fire claw attack against Sturge Swarm 2 combat advantage. So that's 22 versus armor class.
Still misses.
She tries to swipe into him. Not used to fighting a huge swarm of smaller creatures.
Yeah.
That'll be the end of her turn. Harpy 1 is taking 5 ongoing damage. 5. She has a ability to potentially recharge. She does.
I'd
Yeah.
like to have a recharging breath.
No kidding, right?
Maybe you could talk to them about that. Maybe there's
No.
something to show you. And
They have they can show you the
Fire.
truth. Hystea over here, I mean, this Harpy's got like the support of the fucking dragon. The dragon's great. Mayoral Brick said so. But Hystea definitely keeps the support. So she'll fly here and then use her Belching Blue Fire that she just recharged on the swarm and the trees. Like so. 23 versus Fortitude.
yeah, that'll do it.
12 fire damage, of course, more. And then renewing, well, not even renewing, but blind, which they already were. That's the end of that Harpy's turn. Let me roll a save. I know there's a button for it, but I have a habit of doing that. Fails. 5.
Damage and
Yeah.
yeah, over here.
They double shift,
Provoke.
basically. Oh, okay. They provoke.
Yeah, I guess they double shift.
Yeah, they could just double
That used
shift.
to be not standard actioning, but that's not what they do.
Shit.
They just sort of do their
Just-
swarm thing.
Sit next to people and they die.
They're very mobile because of it.
Alright, Plague Change Harpy 2, not adjacent to anyone, not taking ongoing damage. Successfully recharges the ability. Okay. Oh, Hystea on that one has that shit locked down, so she'll fly over here. And then Belching Blue Fire down like so onto the tree leaves and Sturge Swarm 1.
Yeah.
Oh no, 11 versus Fortitude.
No.
Curses. Well, that ends the turn.
Attack.
That misses. He's got his shield up. And then,
Shield did something.
yeah, not a real shield, it's a fake shield. It's much better. He is
Tiamat shield.
Let's see. That is a. Oh, that's not the right ability. Burst 2 within 10. Oops, that's not the right one. This one. Yeah. He will summon his most stickiest of napalmy fire and shoot it towards the Sturge Swarms over there.
Nice.
A lot of it hopefully dripping onto the tree as well. Because, you know,
Yes,
it
yeah.
should. And on top of that, he's gonna expend his Divine Fortune on this one. Which will only apply to the first attack roll. But still.
And he has a +2 because they're blind.
Alright. The first one would then be a 31 versus reflex.
Yes.
For 17 fire damage and 9 ongoing fire damage.
Oh no.
I know I'm going.
Yeah, they're taking
Let's see,
direct
let me
fire
see.
damage from the Harpies, and then they're taking ongoing from you. Oh no.
It's a lot of fire up here.
It
Like
is.
people on the ground, like getting ready. There's like a bell being rung.
There's a lot of fire. That's all the point.
All within the span of like 10 seconds.
And then... Not gonna spend an action point here, it's not important enough for that. He's just gonna swipe at this Sturge Swarm that he is next to.
Didn't you use a standard action to perform the Flame Strike?
That is true. I was looking for something to do with a move action. Attacking is not a move action. He's just gonna shift closer. There we go.
Jin can attack as move action.
Yeah, of course he can.
No, he can do anything.
Swarm 4 will have its
Buzz.
5. Poor 5 damage. Yeah.
Save.
It's no longer blind. Aha!
Target reacquired.
Swarm 1 is the 5,
All
and
of
then the
the
9.
Nestle itself over here.
Makes perfect
Try
sense.
to save.
It saves. Plague Change RP3 gets an attack.
Yup.
Will miss. We got a recharge roll to make. That fails. She will perform her flyby attack then. She doesn't have one of those.
Oh,
It's just Hestea that does.
yes.
Hestea has studied under the ancient knowledge of the Blood Eagles.
Hmm.
Okay, well, RP3 is sort of regretting this, but I mean, the dragon's right there, and this is probably good. So, claw at the Sturge Swarm, 27.
Yeah, that does it.
All right, 10 damage.
Mm-hmm. Take half from the single target attack.
Oh no, and she'll fly a bit away.
Fair.
Maybe. Okay. That'll end her turn.
These ones are taking the same amount of burn damage.
It's a lot of fire, 14.
And is blind, so we'll just do no. Still blind, but no more.
Okay.
They like wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle. Hestea fails to recharge her ability. That target is still very much blinded, so with her fire attack, she will go here and then sort of like bounce off back away. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm glad I'm not fighting her.
Yeah, it's almost like she's trained to fight big, slow flying things. So
That'll be a 17 versus armor class.
I won't do it.
Oh no.
Natural 1 too. So
Yeah, well, I can't see that. I'm the only one who can.
well, I can tell you it's natural 1.
Yeah, alas. Hestea sings a few sad song notes.
Oh, are we here?
Yeah.
33. It's quite something.
Yeah. She was already taking ongoing. Yeah, so 18. You recharge your ability. No. Well, that's not good. Uh-oh. Momentary action to stop the song to say, uh-oh. Claw at the swarm. Hiya, 21 versus armor class. And buddy system. She like flies closer to the dragon. Tries to save against the ongoing. Succeeds. Turn end. Swarm.
Here.
Swarm 3 will have its delicious 5 damage from the singing. Ah.
All you gotta do is
RP2.
last.
That's right. RP2 successfully recharges because it's on a 4, a 5, or a 6. Is that right? Let me check to confirm that.
Yeah,
God,
so
that is.
50-50.
Yeah.
The claws are not fantastic though, so it's
Yeah.
mostly blinding everyone all the time.
It balances out. She will fly here, having seen the damage these swarms can cause, and will belching blue fire like this on the swarm. Swarm 1. Oh no, 11 versus
No,
Fortitude.
It's not gonna do it now.
Oh no, she ends her turn in shame.
Malignant takes 1 attack.
35 hits. 90 does not.
35 is actually crit, so that would be 16 damage and 5 ongoing.
16? What?
Oh no.
One of them, like, I don't know, got in under his eyelid or something.
Oh no. That's nasty.
Terrible.
Let's see, do I have any more bursts? I do not. Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, he's just gonna strike at number 3 down here. I think he took the most damage so far. Actually, no, that's not true. Number 1. He'll strike twice at number 1.
Who's the defender in this
For
party
a-
composition?
1 and a 16. 33.
Hit for single attack. Half. Just to bloody the swarm, though. Many of them are falling down. It's also a lot of smoke coming up and such now.
That's great.
Nice smelling smoke. It smells like home.
Oh no, you're ingesting the tree.
Well, I guess not worried. Nothing can stop him. Not even smoke. He's gonna shift over there and that'll be his turn.
How did you feel fighting in the skies over Elm?
This is what he wanted. He just didn't want to do it with harpies that he literally would prefer to die in this combat.
Okay. That Sturge form should have its 5 fire damage, of course, from the singing.
It's great to burn the tree. He just would rather not have the spellfire involved, but compromises.
Yeah. It doesn't. Your red fire doesn't look so cool when it's the that will miss when it's the blue fire blending into.
Yeah, it's like purple. Who wants that?
I know, red and blue. How dare you?
Fire?
Oh yes. Plague Change Harpy 3 is ready for this shit.
Burn.
Boom. Hitting 2 swarms, 3 and 4.
Yes.
Aha. 1. Oh no.
4 is missed, and 3 is missed.
Oh no. She thought she had that in the bag. That was gonna be great. Buddy? Oh no. The dragon is getting mobbed. Maybe the dragon will want to see the truth if the dragon gets mobbed. Shift away. In turn. Yeah.
This one will take burn. We'll sort of weirdly move around, and we'll try to. No, it's still blind.
Good. Great. Okay, Hestea, you recharge your ability. You do not. Okay. Well, prioritization. That target is blind, so we're gonna fly by action. Boop.
10 flying though. That's ridiculous.
I am perfectly fine with using this NPC bullshit. This is great. It's 24 versus armor class.
24 just hits it.
All right.
18, which is
Yes.
slashing, killing a bunch of them.
That will end her turn. Plague Change Harpy 1 is getting an attack. That will just miss.
These harpies really are pretty good against these surges, though.
I mean, yeah. Fails to recharge.
Yeah, they're pretty good against most things that are not stone throwing giants.
Well, I think here in this situation, Plague Change Harpy 1 understands. She'll move away, provoking whatever happens. Which will miss, and she'll go take a swipe at the blind swarm. As these creatures seem hard to hit. And that one's the only one blinded. 21 versus armor class, which will miss.
Won't do it.
Well, she thought she had that one in the bag. Damn it, she's almost bloodied too. You'll have to think about staying in this combat. Takes its 5 fire damage, if nothing else. Plague Change Harpy 2 gets an attack against it. That will hit. 7 damage. And 5 ongoing. Huzzah! Mark that.
Not enough, but it's persistent.
It is. Label, roll a recharge. That fails. I'm here. Don't want to abandon the dragon. Hestea's right behind me. I can't fucking go. Aw. Even if I'd moved to flank with you, it would still miss. We'll move to flank now. I can't run away with Hestea behind me.
Yeah.
Let me roll a save. That will fail. Oh no.
Ignith. 1.
Yeah. What are those rolls?
That's number wang, baby.
Also, they should actually have +2, because,
Yeah, combat advantage. Yeah.
So that is...
That's 24 damage.
24
and still 5 ongoing.
So it doesn't
and
stack,
still-
okay.
Yeah, so you'll also take
same attack.
Yeah, so you'll take 5 damage from the ongoing because you already had an instance on.
I am not bloodied yet.
covered in swarms. They're very angry at all the fire he's making.
Very angry swarms.
Burning
I
their
can see that.
homes. Their
You know,
whole world, really.
That's sort of the point. Also, are those
Where's all these thousands of sturdies going to go?
those are melee duel attacks, right?
They're really.
All right, then he'll get free 10 hit points.
It's not like you can feed the Sturges with your sap.
No, he will not. He will shift down here. And then he will... What will he do? He's just gonna hit Swarm 1 with a Righteous Brand. Most Righteous of Brands. Should have done that before shifting, but too late. 23?
Miss.
Damn it. Then he's gonna spend an action point, which means...
Now this encounter is worth it.
Yes. Actually, I don't have an action point. Never mind.
No, you do, because we got the full rest.
Oh, we got full rest, correct. Alright, now I don't have an action point.
Thanks, Trey.
Yeah, it's worth it because it's actually, you know... I don't mind happy casualties, but I do want this to end at some point. 29 and 22 against the two Sturges.
29 hits, yes.
In fact, it's gonna be like this.
Oh my. Okay, well then roll 2 more.
Because unfortunately, sadly, I have to hit one of the harpies, which hurts me so.
Oh yeah, that hits. So
resistant to a bit.
Yeah, resistance. So that was 15 fire damage, so she'll take 5 from that.
They'll understand.
Yeah, they understand what it's like to do area fire attacks.
Alright, and then with the action point action, he's gonna, you know, it will attack number 1 again. 24?
Hits.
Great, 9 damage, and Harpy number 2 gets a +3 to melee attack rolls, if she wants to do that.
Okay. End of your turn, you should make a save against your ongoing sheep.
Correct. Yes.
Spend turns taking damage. This one.
Plague changed. Harpy 3 gets attacked. That will definitely hit. Damage 10. Ongoing 5. Let's see here. Do you recharge your special ability? You do. Well, those 2 are still there. This could be the chance.
Look at that.
Belch Blue Flame. 1, 2.
Yes.
All right. Take your damage. Get blinded. Huzzah. And Harpy feels like she's finally accomplished something. Well, this turn. She will flap here. Hopefully the blinded Sturges will not come further towards her. She doesn't like to be far away from the rest of her brethren. She will save against the ongoing damage. She does.
It's the nice thing about taking it on your own turn, you know?
It is. It is.
Swarm 4 should take damage too, right?
I don't think Storm 4 got hit with the 16 versus Fortitude.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Swarm 2 blinded still. 5 fire damage from the singing.
That's pretty much... I mean, it has a save, really.
It does.
That's
Oh
the
no.
whole time.
Okay. Estea, do you recharge? You do
No.
not. That's fine. Estea will fly by to be here. And then bounce back off to her position. She's content where she is. That moment, Helmsturge Swarm will take that attack. That'll be 31 versus armor class.
Oh, destroy it.
Aha! She rips the creatures apart in her flaming claws. They have
Yes.
discovered the truth.
Over the citizens below.
She crushes the sap-filled creatures between her aberrant fingertips.
Delicious smell.
Yeah, the song turns to an exultation of victory.
Fire's bird.
Right. She ends her turn. Plague Change Harpy 1 is very glad for the save. Wonderful. That's why she loves Hestea. Okay. Given the bloodied condition, Hestea is right there. She can't, like... Damn, fuck. Here we go.
You will fight.
Yep. She'll move in and try to claw at the swarm. That's a 30 versus armor class.
Yep.
Looks disapprovingly over it, like through the swarm at the dragon, having been burned by the dragon.
So it just moves randomly. And tries to save. It does.
They'll still have their 5 fire damage from the song. Harpy 2 gets attacked. That will definitely hit, and she was already taking ongoings. It'll be 19 damage. Okay. Do you recharge? You do. Can we angle this in a way that it doesn't hit the dragon? We can. We will, Belching Blue Fire at Swarm 1. 26 versus Fortitude.
Hits.
Aha! She is blinded, and she will shift away. She will make a save. And she successfully does.
Alright. Velignith.
Alright, Velignith is gonna
Take attacks.
take attacks. Yes, that is a miss.
Roll -5.
That is also a miss, thankfully.
Blind soldiers have a hard time finding spot.
The blind did something.
Did I save against the... I didn't I?
You did.
Great. Then he's gonna just smack swarm number 1 for 28.
28 hits.
11 damage. And Plague Changed Harpy 1 gets to enjoy a dragon bestowed bonus of +3.
Better than be burned.
Yeah.
It's technically better than being burned, yeah.
Velignith giveth, and he also giveth fire sometimes. And that'll be his turn. Actually, he'll like shift. No, that's... Yeah, sure. He'll shift there.
5. This one, 5. And it's pretty content. Still be blind though.
Harpy 3 is not taking ongoing, and I will roll to recharge her ability, which fails. Hestea's on the other side there. Why don't we just relocate with the other harpies? Do. Double moves.
Swoop.
Yep, swoops through the brambles. Hestea also fails to recharge, but she is not afraid of engaging. She can do that with her flyby attack.
You go right back.
That's a little circle. Swarm 1. Yeah. That'll be 33 versus armor class.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Swarm. Delightful. That will be the end of her turn. She's not taking ongoing. Plague Change Harpy 1 gets attacked by a blind foe. That will miss. Phew. Try to recharge her ability. Oh no. She will claw at the blind foe. 25 versus armor class.
Yep.
And then she will move away. Actually, that would have been like a 28 due to the bonus. Yeah, great. That'll be the end of her turn. She's not taking ongoing. No, none of the harpies are. Oh no!
There's so many of them.
Harpy 2 does recharge. Okay. Looks at the situation. Scrutinizes it. Trying to figure out a way to weasel in two groups. Okay, she thinks she can do this. Probably got this. She belches blue fire over the two swarms and Valignith.
That is
Couldn't be helped.
Couldn't be helped.
that is very brave.
I mean, that's how that goes. You saw how that worked against Play Change Harpy 1.
Well, the difference is Plague Changed Harpy 1 is not a dragon.
Alright, Sturge, Valignith.
All right. There's Surge Valignith. 14 versus Fortitude.
No.
26 versus Fortitude.
Yes.
27 versus Fortitude.
Yes.
So 4 fire damage and blind savings.
Well, Valignith is resistant to fire, so that's not going to do anything.
As the blue flame streaks across, reaves the dragon and the Sturges. She had hoped for more damage there, but you know, she got 2 of the swarms. She has definitely helped the dragon. And she's not taking ongoing, so it'll be the end of that.
Pith, he will be with -5,
And miss.
-5,
Miss.
and with a -0.
Miss.
Okay, well, I guess technically it's +2 from the...
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that'd
27 would
that'd be
still
minus
miss.
3.
Alright.
Well, Valignith, he will not be stopped, especially by these insolent harpies, which means he will just decide to save against the blinded, taking 10 damage to do it.
That Harpy knew that the Valignith could
Oh,
not be deterred. by
she's gonna know many things once these swarms are dead.
Well, that's Manakai's situation.
I'll take it over.
Uh,
The dragon was lost, sadly. Salt.
Valignith is bloodied, which is fine. And then he will healing strike number 1. So +2 to hit. 29 versus AC.
That hits.
He slashes at it with a fiery claw. The fire invigorating him. As he will heal with... Spend a healing surge +4. He's no longer bloodied.
Aha.
Aha, it's true. And then he's just gonna move a bit because this is spicy. He doesn't appreciate it.
Alright, he'll
Good
take
move,
his
yeah.
extra.
Sure. That is a miss.
Okay.
That'll be some.
Alright. Damage and try to save. Saves. Look a blind. This one. Damage and then not save. As the song continues.
Yes. Sturges keep dropping left and right thanks to the power of the song. That Harpy will fail
Basically
to...
everything is on fire. Everything living that hears it and is a foe burns.
This Harpy will fail to recharge, but, you know, gaining ground, this Harpy hasn't taken much damage. She'll fly over here, and combat advantage. Attack Swarm 4. The Claw. 22 versus armor class.
Yes.
Oh no. Sistea. Sistea recharge. She does. Well, let's see here the situation. That swarm over there looks like it's in more dire straits. But this one is a bigger threat. To blind this one. Closer. This will be fine. She'll like fly over here to support yonder dragon. And probably angle this in a way that doesn't hurt. With a belching blue fire. 22 versus Fortitude. Okay.
And they're blinded again.
Ah.
That's a
No.
really good condition.
So
Blue
many
flame.
blind Sturges.
Yeah. I've had fun with that condition with Twisted Eye. Poor Harpy 1 been left alone. Oh yeah, that definitely hits. Takes her 5 ongoing because she already had that on top of that. No, she didn't. 9, potentially 5 ongoing if she doesn't save. Does she recharge? She does. Belching blue fire immediately on Swarm 3.
I gotcha. I mean, you've been covered in them, so I won't do it.
No. She, in her condition, pretty low in health. That Swarm's going to keep going after her. I think instead of just shifting away, she's going to outright, nope. She'll take an attack of opportunity. She was out of there. Oh yeah, she definitely takes that.
Mm-hmm.
And she will try to save against her ongoing. She does.
Good.
Get out of that. Yeah, 14 hit points. She's not really wanting to get in there anymore. The other 2 harpies are like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's on the way to follow, but then
Yeah.
They don't act. They just attach to the next
Yeah, I understand.
target. 2 here will take an attack.
I will miss. Okay. All right. Let's see whether you recharge. That'll determine what you do.
Burn them all.
Okay.
Burn your
RP2.
friend if you have to. Hit them
We'll
both.
show some. It's not very nice. We'll show some initiative. Here, the situation. Is there a way she could handle this? Which, may only cause harm to her, but not her ally, because she is invested in that. Yeah, she'll provoke another opportunity action from the Storm 3. If she moves around, that will hit. 9 damage and 5 ongoing. Sure. Oh no, now she's bloodied. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like so. Fire like that.
That's a good.
Belching blue fire.
1 first and then another with a +2.
Okay. That.
That hits.
And then 20 versus Fortitude with the +2.
That will just miss.
Okay. Well, the non-blinded one's now blinded. Hooray! Hooray! See, she was hit, so she needs to immediately make a save against that ongoing. She does. Does not persist.
Death. -5.
Oh, not take any damage, which is good. And then he'll smack the swarm. Because that's what he does. He is flanking. Actually, that should be... Oh, that's a 40 versus AC.
The hit. Yeah.
Or 12. And let's see. This day I will get the +3 against swarm number 4. If she has to make a melee attack.
Yeah, that's good. Don't look at that. That's the bloody condition.
Safe against being injured.
No. Like J. Rodriguez, he's getting 2 attacks.
Yes, with a -5.
Will hit.
Without a -5.
That will also hit. She's taken 25 damage there. It's definitely enough to bloody her, and she potentially has ongoing 5. Yuck. Will she recharge? She will not. She. Uh-oh.
From both sides.
I know, right? Like, looks
Covered
back
in
at Histea, like,
Bloody
fuck.
beasts.
She just fell bloodied. She will claw at Swarm 3. It's just a 16 reserve, which won't do it. And she'll shift back here. And then she'll try to make a save against her ongoing. She does.
Just knock the ones that attach off.
Flings them back into the branches. That'll be the end of her turn. Histea has a recharge roll. She fails to do that. So, having been set up by Valignith here. Reminder, flyby attack does not approach an opportunity attack from the target. She could still take opportunity attacks from anyone else. If I move here, you can draw a line through that to have flanking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So yes, as part of her flyby attack, she'll go here and then sort of like rebound back off to like here.
I mean, this guy's blind anyway, so you can move however you like.
Yeah, it's true. Whatever. Still got her combat advantage. So this will be with a +5 against Swarm 4. A 29 versus armor class.
Hits.
All right, that'll end Histea's turn. Supremely damaged Plague Changed Harpy 1. A recharge roll to make will fail. And will probably be excused for just fly over here and set this stuff on fire over here. Yeah. I'm out of this combat.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
This one will take fire damage. Goes and well, just sort of continue doing what it's doing.
Makes sense. No longer blind.
Makes it dangerous.
Sure does. Sure does. Plague Change Harpy 2, who got bloody to work into this position. Does recharge the ability. Both those Sturges are lined up there like that. She will fire the Belching Blue Fire. 17 and a 13.
No.
Just goes off to the branches. Well, fiddlestick, she thinks to herself. I'll return. She flies over here. No need to be that close, you know.
29 just hits, unfortunately.
Damage? 5
5 on there. Then Willingness Will. I can't be flanking. Well, he'll just smack the swarm. 28
It's
for 20.
damage.
And no harpies actually in range. So he's just gonna sort of shift back. Tell me that. So I will take a really quick toilet break because I need it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Harpy 3 here. Let's take an attack.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Hit.
6 damage.
They've been lucky with the saves so far.
They have a few 20s slung around there. Does she get her thing back? She does. Well, she has her thing, and she loves to burn stuff. It's kind of like their fetish that they really love to like spread the fire. So she's willing to.
Bill plague changed Sturgis.
Yes, and that's worth getting up close and personal. Remaining here, she'll go here and breathe the Belching Blue Fire over them both. Like so. 20 and 27.
No and yes, which will be enough to kill them.
Aha! Yes, the truth has been revealed. Well done.
So far, it's 3 to 0 kills here. So
Well, I mean, there's a Sturgis. There's a lot of them in a huge swarm,
that's a
right?
lot.
Oh no, this one didn't say.
Oh no. So Sturgis attached.
Histea's turn. Histea, who took that initial blow and has since stayed out of the situation, will fly over here, we'll say. And we'll breathe the Belching Blue Flame over Swarm 3. 25 versus Fortitude.
Yes.
All right, 9 fire damage, obviously more, and then the target is blinded. Aha!
Oh, down to 1 swarm. Nice.
Yep. Her turn's done. No longer blinded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
They changed Harpy. Ooh.
Just keep blinding.
2.
We'll see.
Yes.
We'll fly over here and perform the tried and true ritual of I can probably burn this to death.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
More damage. And more blinding.
I know. A potential recharge 50% of the time, close blast for a blinding effect, Chief.
Yep.
It's good in combination with the aura, you know?
Yeah,
Just
it is.
makes
That'll be
things
the end.
unable to shoot at you while you fly around.
Yeah. That'll be the end of her turn.
Right. Lilith will stay his distance as well and blast a blindingly blight. Wow, blindingly bright. There we go. Column of flame. 30 versus reflex. 16 radiant. He is also blinded.
Mm,
It is
Also,
true.
Willingness should be flying. Why is he not flying? There we go.
People may have cleared states. Plague Change Harpy 3 takes ongoing damage. Oh no.
Starts when the search is attached.
Stops on him, but recovers the blue flame, and I mean, she really just loves setting things on fire. That's the truth. It feels so good to do that.
There is love.
Right. Then
The
will she
last
save it?
ones fall down upon
Does.
the treetops.
Alright.
Below, people are still running around, getting ready to fight a dragon. It's clearly come to assault them. In league with the Spellscar, blue fire. Horrible betrayal.
Once the Sturges are dealt with here, the Harveys getting back to their jobs, as it were. We'll fly over to Histea here, and in a voice that suggests that it's not a suggestion, say, "Once you're satisfied here, you will take a pass over the houses below."
Are you trying to be intimidating?
Yes,
Okay.
most definitely.
Try to give you intimidating. She has a bonus to her will defense against it, but
35.
you're very intimidating. Hestia knows that it's that or die. Fine, she doesn't actually give a fuck about these goddamn humans. She's not Mia Albrecht. She's not really nice. Though, you know, also doesn't want to die. But we're going to try to do it in a way that minimizes damage to her.
You know, that's acceptable, but if she doesn't do it, then she is dead. Because if any of the dragons can fight harpies without even taking so much as a scratch, it's Velagnath. Fire resistance, ranged attacks, try me.
Yeah, well, you can still be blinded.
I can decide not to be blinded at any moment.
You can only keep doing that so much.
They only have so many hit points.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you want to go with them?
No, I want them to do it by themselves.
All right. Yeah. They will do a strafe against some of the outlying houses, the ones that currently don't have a bunch of wizards by them, and yet, let me just go and see. It makes sense that each of them would get an attack against them as they dive down to go for it. Makes sense. Let's see what we can do. What do we have here? What would these guys do? Oh, I know what they would do. They dive down. Serpents of lightning would erupt from below. So, Grimmith, could you just check them off one by one?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, we have 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Okay, so I would need to know which one was against Histea.
First one.
First one. Okay, so that's a hit. The 19 versus reflex is a hit. 17 versus reflex is a miss. And then the 31 versus reflex is a hit.
So that miss is half damage. We'll say that the slow is still not slow enough to really like get them entirely slowed down for this. Though it might be, but we'll give them the ongoing damage once. And then
Okay, let me go ahead and select them all, and I'll just deal 21 points of damage because the first attack was a 16.
No, these are different attacks.
Okay, sure. Just fucking make it more difficult for me to bookkeep for you. Why not?
I can come over and do it.
No, it's fine. I'll take care of it, boss. Oh, that was... Here. You know what? You got unlucky. You're taking that damage. I'm not bookkeeping that. Big Change Harpy 1 takes half. So, no ongoing damage. So, 17 divided by 2 is that. We'll say that. And then 4 is... Oof. That's enough to down that harpy.
One of them is just dead.
Yep. The other two are at 4 and 6 hit points respectively.
Dragon's not popular, but it got done.
Very good. Varignev, meanwhile, will burn the tree a little bit more, and most importantly, he'll try to like rip off one of the burnt branches as a souvenir for a certain dwarf.
You can also take your ongoing damage one more time, Sheep, and then just
Sure.
He takes 10 damage to automatically to chuck.
all right, yeah, you can go down to try to rip off a branch.
He'll try that. If the tree attacks him, then so be it.
Even the burnt tree has thorns. You rip off a branch. It's not really hard to rip off, given that you know, given how it goes. So let's say with that dive, you take 7 points of damage.
Sure.
The ripping down into it and tearing off a branch. But yeah, you can get a branch. Elm branch. Has like a sweet smell to it.
He'll spend like a minor action to use his aura of fire affecting to stoke the flames a bit before taking off. And he's done here. He'll collect his payment.
This was worse than the Harpies thought. Yeah, they almost everyone but Hestia died.
Mm-hmm. One's at 4, one's at 6, one.
Yeah, maybe they would have survived if the dragon hadn't hit them with the breath.
Mm-hmm.
So,
They would have all died had the dragon not been here. They better remember that, mostly.
I don't think that's true.
I think that is very true.
They could have just easily flown away, and the Sturges wouldn't have gone after them.
They would have failed, which is a fate worse than death. Probably. Who knows?
I don't think Mayor Albrecht thinks the same way for like
but yeah, he can return to his 400 gold. Collected.
Excellent.
Four harpies.
Oh well.
Spent.
Yep. They threw in their lop.
Well, at least they know that Mayor Albrecht wouldn't personally burn them.
Yep.
So maybe it was a good choice. As she can return, flying back. Ymir are able to see like the fire from the hill.
Yeah. Think like she opens her eyes like in the process during her nap, and she like sees like the blue flame on the horizon. She like stands up from like the town square, like Merch Hamlet, flies up a bit. Deep look of disappointment. Because she doesn't think that's just one attack from well, it's only a matter of time until something like this happens. Flies back down to continue sleeping for the rest of the night in the town square of Worms Hamlet.
Yeah. Ligneth can, I don't know, because he goes home or?
Yeah, he'll go home after collecting his payment.
Is home in this case for you like home to deliver the gold?
Yeah, home to deliver the gold and also deliver the like scorched branch of Elm Tree to the Dwarven Matriarch. Although he will be honest and say that the city still stands. The tree is singed, not burnt in its entirely, but consider this a progress report, basically.
She's pleased by that. We'll smile and sort of look at it and smell it and sort of nod to herself. I remember that smell. This chestnut pie. I will never forget it.
Given enough years, I think everyone will have forgotten about El. Once I'm done with it anyways.
You know just the right things to say. Smiles up. Probably sitting like with a blanket over her. Yes, when it is done, I should like to see it.
I'll attempt to make that happen. Opportunity.
Need be. Perhaps me and my clan should travel up here to have a better view. I'm sure there's somewhere we could find a decent place to camp, so we could look from a distance.
There's a village not too far away, although I don't know exactly what the view from the ground is. You might see the columns of smoke.
It is something to consider. I will see if I can send a couple out to look for a decent spot. Scouts, perhaps maybe a nearby high rise or some such that's not too exposed. It's been quite snowing out there.
Yes, it is dreadful, although it is getting warmer again.
Be a pleasant change from this acrid hellscape.
Volignoth, like, feigns offense.
She seems to know that it's faint.
It's very obvious, he's not very subtle.
Yeah. Oh, you don't say. Oh no. How terrible. You wound me.
Yeah. It's my home, you woman.
Listen here, dwarf.
You and your...
If only adventurers could fly.
Yeah, if only.
Could have done.
Yeah, that's what's missing in this world.
Dragons fly. Biggest fucking benefit in the world. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's that 10 day. Do we want to do another downtime?
I'd be cool with that.
If we spring, so
Yeah.
Sure.
I know.
that might just make sense to
Strongly interested. Yeah.
take it on a step.
All right, let's do one.
All right.
Yeah.
But I
Another
would
nice
like to resolve this downtime with you after session, Menegai, because I don't know exactly what to do.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you have a downtime you can work on, of course, but if you'd rather spend it on something else, then just let me know at some point.
Yeah, I do want to work on that. I just don't know exactly how to do it. I want to have a slight think about it.
Sure, yeah, it's fine.
It'll basically be more of that nature, though, just contacting people.
Yeah, you need to think about who.
Yeah, the list.
Yes, people. Yeah. Well, Emmy.
All right. So, I think during this downtime, like Emmy Zure is gonna like loiter around like Worm's Hamlet. She's gonna she's not gonna like sleep there like every night, but she'll like come visit, park herself in the town hall for like not the town hall, but like the town square for a while. And like over like the days, she's gonna think about like what Ziaze, like the leader of the were-rats, requested. She'd like chew over that like in her head. She's gonna think about like their plea for help. She's gonna chew over that in her head. She's gonna think about how it's not actually doing anything for her right now, this being here, like mull over that. She's gonna come to a determination. And this is like grounded like in her reality. Like this as it exists is obviously weak. It has to become stronger in order for it to be of use to her. Why is she spending her time here otherwise? They're not actually that entertaining. Like some of these like individuals do possess strength. They just don't know how to find it. But there is an entity that is capable of awakening, and that would be Malar. To help them find the strength.
Yeah.
The weak ones.
Always.
Yeah, that's right. Malar can help them find their strength. These folks in Worm's Hamlet, spooked, they're worried. They're not that worried, they say, but these weak inferior creatures are always scared about something. We said they protect. So, here's how this is going to go. They're lured and attracted by the promise of, like, food and safety and comfort and security down the ground. Because, of course, they are. Because everyone's sort of, like, attracted to that. Like, these sorts of things, though, are also, like, transient. At some point, some other problem is going to come here to Worm's Hamlet. these folks don't have like an industry here. They don't have anything. Even if we resolve their problems with whatever might be attacking them in the night, they're still going to have nothing but fishing. And they're too far away from one of those dragons. And Mizure has expressed the most concern about them. So, here we go. To women and children, the weak, the infirm, what have you, they can be transferred into like a different life, like spread out in like civilization. And they can be taken care of in their transition and not be beggars if the strong among like the town move from the hamlet to Vertilif's lair and like live and populate the hill. Like there's like nice little like farming area, like some hunting ground where they can like forage and stuff. Yeah. They'll have to surrender like the voices of tyrannies, like the sacred historical weapon. But those, the children or what have you that are spread like into civilization, they don't have to be super destitute. And Mizure can take care of that. Provided that the strong among them, like whoever they may be, are willing to pledge to move out of Worm's Hamlet and come closer to a dragon, where a dragon can properly like huggle them in protection. I think she's gonna try and work on her wonderful words on this town. They don't want to be here.
Yeah, the goal here is.
The goal here is to like basically like an influx of whether it's like 20 extra fucking were-rats or whatever, however many end up like surviving the ordeal. Like Worm's Hamlet just isn't doing anything for her. And so it's time for this settlement to move on. She will have fulfilled her end of the bargain in protecting them. And everyone can move on and have a happier ending. The were-rats Yaze can be like, yay!
Yeah, they would love it.
The strong among them who are turned the were-rats, I mean, they'll probably eventually be like, yay, I'm not weak anymore.
Yeah. Eventually, when they've been thoroughly turned.
That's right. It's painful, but progress is painful. The weak and infirm can be like, thank you for your sacrifice, Daddy. Like, I'll love you and go live on.
So the real question here, I think, is how easy this is going to be. Is how the people going to be taking care of that leave? Are they just going to get like a sum, or what's the?
I think I could genuinely provide them a sum. Mm-hmm. Like the folks that are leaving like this town, I think Mizure, in the interest of like, this is sort of like, like they're gonna go and where we'll get out that the green dragon wasn't mean and ate all of them and she kept up her end of the bargain, and you can totally trust a green dragon to protect you, especially this Mizure Leadrith here. I will offer. She's not even remote. Like, she doesn't like conceptualize what it is to like for like these creatures to have nothing to like survive, but she figures like if I give them like, I got a bunch of gold from those stupid Redenseer peasants, if I offer them like, she like counts and like looks at her coins and she frowns and she like counts her coins again. If I give them like 5 gold pieces per person, that'll work, right? Per person that like goes into like Cormyr and doesn't stay with me. Yeah, she thinks that's good. That's a good offer. That's far more wealth than any of them even remotely dreamed of having. What is 5 gold pieces? Like, you look at that, you could live for months off that.
Yeah, if you really break it up, you could.
Yeah, that's for adventurers. That's like nothing, but for like the peasants and the peasant economy,
swords and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really fucking reasonable.
They used to have so much more, but given the current situation, I think if you're willing to pay 5 gold for each person, then we'll say that is an easy goal.
Okay,
an easy project. There's still some convincing and some pushing and like actually like, doing it.
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
It's not super. The main hurdle here would actually be to get them to do it. The knowledge that their families would be somewhat taken care of more than they can do. Like the sword, again, would pay far, far more than that.
Yes.
For the sword's price, all of them could live
Mm-hmm.
perfect comfort for the rest of their lives. But they can't actually have that because there's dragons who don't want them to have that sell Tessier. So
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yep. See, there is no ideal situation in which they get to leave with the sword unless
No.
they go through the dragon.
Unless one person like managed to run away with it at night, which is also not ideal. And no one suggests that. Let's just gamble and see who can get away.
Yeah,
It's not something anyone wants.
Yeah. Because they could be potentially dooming the entire hamlet if they do
They
that.
have families and friends and such in here. They don't actually people to suffer.
Yeah. And yeah. All right, yeah, we'll work with that. That's an easy goal. It'll start as it most certainly would. I can't imagine why, with reasonable tones. Diplomacy check and appeal to like all the very fears they've expressed. Like, you could be closer to the dragon. Your families, you wouldn't have to worry about them. Like, I'm not going to always be here in this town square to look after you. Like, it's very, like, dangerous out there with all the blue flame and columns of fire. And that's only going to be getting worse before it gets better. Like, you can be under the protection of your families can be under the protection of Cormyr. And you personally, who stay with me, can be under my protection with me instead of here. I think a diplomacy check is very appropriate.
Yeah, the difficulty, of course, is going to be like a permanent thing. You don't get to.
Of course. Any modifiers to this?
You are offering to pay them, which is very reasonable, but there's also the thing that they will have to say goodbye to their like families. Okay. I think we'll do it on mod.
Okay. 26. It's okay. I can try to swindle these people with a fast talk. What the hell? I mean, it's there.
Your DC says 2 progress.
Yeah. I will. I'll throw out my fast talk. I had plenty of time to think about this. If I say a bunch of scary sounding words about how dangerous it is out there, how the dragon is the best course of action, for very reasonable blathering. I guess I'll take the 26 from the diplomacy because I can use either result.
All right. I mean, that's 2-step progress, meaning that there's still a little bit to do to really push it over the edge. But most people are somewhat convinced that this is probably the best idea they currently have, the best chance they're going to get. Still, probably some people are like, maybe it's better to be beggars and together than not and split.
Okay. Well, then with that downtime ending, because she's going to basically give them a warning, I'm not coming back here to offer this again. So this is a one-time thing. You don't waste a dragon's time. I thought what I offered was very reasonable, but by all means, trust in what the Red Dragon told you, because you'll leave.
Yeah, well, I think that means that some of them might take up on it.
Okay.
I don't think they're. I think the guy with the sword is probably going to stay for now, just because he doesn't want to go unless everyone's taken care of.
Sure.
Sort of last one out sort of thing. But yeah, some people who some people who don't have family might be like, yeah, I'm just going to go to this place, and some people who do might think that they want their families taken good care of. So let's say half.
All right.
Of what?
That's still a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. So we'll also say, then you only pay the people who go. So.
All right.
That is half of half the people, which turns out to not actually be that much money at all.
All right.
That's 125 gold.
Okay. Yeah, she'll hand that out as a matter of fact, because she is a spiteful green dragon at heart.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, she can't help this. You know what? Half of half is 125 here, with accusatory looks towards the folks remaining in the hamlet. Why don't you take the other 125 on top of that, and she'll give them another 125 for 250.
Oh damn.
Yeah, that's see, I even offered you better than what I said I would. And now the rest of the people in Worm's Hamlet can just sit there and stew over that for the rest of their fucking miserable lives.
Yeah, they get to have a lot of regrets potentially because now, of course, they know that they chose to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And worse, chose for their families to be there. But
I know.
they just don't want to break up and never see each other again.
Yeah.
It's one
And
of those.
and I think afterwards, I think after that, the with the town being so severely weakened, should something end up happening to the voice of the tyranny, oh damn, what a pity. Guess the were-rats were right.
Yeah, well, they're probably going to calm down on that. New were-rats might still not want to actually eat the city.
It's true. It's true.
So
Give it a
that's what-
time.
yeah, you're going to be pleased, though. These people, probably many of the people who were let go to Elm, they wouldn't have survived anyway. So, it's like, yeah, maybe half the ones who get here will become new were-rats. It's going to be great. More
Yeah.
were-rats. It's good.
Yeah.
They lost
I mean-
some recently, and not too many refugees sort of flooding down here anymore. So.
Mizore takes good care of those were-rat minions. They've been so valuable. And as she looks at like the empty spots where the 250 gold pieces were, she as a dragon identify those. She thinks about how good it felt to look at those people so deprived of hope in Worm's Hamlet and say, "You could have had this. Freedom and survival could have been yours,
Mm-hmm.
but you just didn't go along with the dragon."
Yeah.
And that opportunity closes to them because she's not offering that again.
Lessons should be learned. Always go along with the dragons, otherwise you regret it one way or another.
That's right. Shadowrun tells you to never cut a deal with the dragon, but they
No.
never tell you what the consequences are if you don't cut the deal with the dragon.
Exactly.
I remember Lofir going into that boardroom being like, "So I'm the CEO now. Any questions?"
Yeah.
No one we know the name of now asked. Doesn't say no one asked, just we don't know who they were.
Yeah.
Erased from history.
Yeah. Feels good. The idea of like, see, I did that, I kept my word, I bolstered my were-rats, I protected them, my minions will grow stronger, and I spited those little insignificant peasants who chose not to accept my generous opportunity.
Hmm.
Fucking sword. Let's see them try and run with it.
Win.
That's
Winning
right.
every day.
And if any of them tries to run with the sword, oh, that'd be great. I'd
Well,
love to
I
hear
think the
about
person
that.
who has it actually is rather principled. So
Yep. And wants to be the last man there, so he won't run with it. That's great. You want to resolve Vokor before we end the session?
yes. Well, I don't see a world where he forces a confrontation. He has had like defend.
And now suddenly the
CD4.
gods tell him to sprint and engage immediately.
Destroy the Underdark. Just
Yeah, the entire Underdark.
Jump into this hole, quick.
so Varistix comes back. There's a fire giant in
Yeah.
your house.
I'll roll his D4. Is that still going to be what it
Yes,
is?
It is.
Okay, I will roll that. 8, another 2.
Well, he tells more. The gods tell him to still be passive and defend. It's incredible how much they love that. All winter, they've just been, the half winter here has just been like, hang out, dude.
Yeah.
The only reason he didn't at one point was because Vertilith messed with him.
I mean, like he did advance to take the dam, that advanced to take that that high rise, and sent out those destruction teams. And
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, he has done so, but taking the dam is a defensive move. It's he needs a position.
yeah,
More.
and I mean,
strong.
obviously the dam is important to the hierarchy.
Oh
so
yeah, definitely.
yeah.
It's important. Yeah.
How could the dragons have lost? Surely it shows how weak they are.
Surely.
I'm afraid they have not come to
Yes.
face him. He would take any of them in single combat.
I bet he fucking could.
He would.
I wouldn't want to. No, I'm good. Thanks.
Lay down the iron circle. No flight, of course.
Of course, no.
Being
We'll
to
just-
being.
Just have to nibble at his ankles.
Mm.
Oh shit! If I knock him prone, I'll have to get him to my level. All right.
Oh, well, Volkort's stats actually depend on what he believes is the right move. So
Huh.
right now he's very defensive, and protecting, and tough. And
Can't blame him. Those dragons could fly. They could come from anywhere.
He's so damn confident that if he fought right now, if he's attacked right now, that he will win, and he will
He is right.
valiantly, bravely, and excellent.
Why I will not attack him right now.
If he gets visions of everything being terrible and definite loss, then he might not be. So
Things haven't been terrible. There's just been some minor setbacks. They have what really matters.
They can stay at that dam forever, as far as I'm concerned.
So that sounds like the white film will end up being removed from the map.
Yes, it does. Let's do that now.
Restore color to the land, vibrancy.
Wow. Just imagine.
Yeah, mudslides everywhere.
We're like a new phone. Just peeling that off.
Oh no, you need to keep that plastic on for protection. Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, such vibrancy!
Actually, it's quite remarkable, isn't it?
I know. Like after staring at that damn filter for so long, I forget how green the map used to be.
Yeah.
And then when you remove the one from the Dragon
Saturation.
Coast, when you remove the one from the Dragon Coast map too, it'll be.
Oh yeah, that white was just terrible.
Oh,
Look at that.
color,
Look at that. That's production value.
eye popping right there. I know. That's the most production value ever seen on How to Veer and Raw.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff.
Oh, that is nice green. Compared to
It is. It
blinding
is.
white.
Spring is in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which sounds like we have delayed Vocord's expedition until the
We
spring.
have, even though mostly he did it himself.
I'll take it.
That is, I mean, it could have been the other way around. He could have just attack, strike, just murder everything. In which case, he would have done that. So, you know,
Yeah.
that is the thing.
And you've made some. This is the most tangible progress towards you burning down Elm, Chief. How'd it feel?
I mean, I would have preferred if the spell plague people weren't involved, but I'll compromises.
I thought it was going to be an army of lizard folk that you rode into battle with.
I would have done that if Emmy hadn't requested time to do her things.
No longer need time. They're in open conflict with each other now.
Yeah, but now it would sort of be pointless to bring a third army in there if they are just fighting each other anyways.
I know you fight them both. Pick off the survivor, or whatever you want to do. Enslave them. I don't know.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
I mean, I just want to make sure that they are actually properly fighting by escalating their current plans, which I think I've succeeded in.
Yeah.
I mean, Elm would have likely already been pissed off by their trees being singed ever so slightly. But now it was a proper attack, and I'm pleased about that.
Yeah, we'll see whenever the innkeeper strides into battle on his giant treant or whatever.
Yeah, he can do that. The closest appropriate target is the Spellscott camp. I don't see him suddenly arriving in front of Veligor's lair, so, go ahead.
Who knows what he knows?
The snake in our garden. Yes. Let's see. You get 733 XP each.
Woo!
Putting you at 32,591.
Woo! We level up to level 12. Woo!
Again, what?
All right. Then we'll have that open goal slot that Valky can think of maybe doing something with whenever he returns, the 29th.
Indeed. Wow. Just imagine.
What
What he's been doing all this time.
What if we had 3 dragons?
What if?
First time in a long time.
What a concept. Good work, Sheep. Befriending the spells card.
Not befriending them, I'm using them, that's different.
Yes, they totally weren't using you. No. You're using each other.
Yeah, I mean that's okay.
400 gold to you know what? 400 gold to employ the services of a dragon. I feel like I got scolded last session for my opinions on accepting money to do something for someone. No one can just employ a dragon.
I mean, as far as Veling is concerned, the money was just an extra. He wanted to attack Elm. He can't do it himself, so now he did it and also got money for it. So what's not to like?
Yeah, well, I wanna kill the copper dragon. Everything I got paid was extra.
Yeah. Yeah, something that's going to begin to show up, though. To drag that forward in spring is that apparently the winter snows might be gone. Water is everywhere. But it seems that some angry part of winter has still stayed behind across the valley.
We don't have Tilraxos.
Strange footsteps and
Angry sentient snowman.
fey-like things.
Stupid Lord of Winter Pipers.
Yeah, well, he's got a job to do, you know?
Yeah, I guess if you're fucking oath bound
Punish
to
the
do
dragons. Punish them.
I feel sufficiently punished. I think like his oath is complete. Is it like a goal? Determine whether it's completed.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's completed when his master thinks it's complete, which is...
Oh no. It might never be complete for him then.
Yeah, well, if he stops now, then he'll get someone else to come for him. Like,
It's okay, join us. We'll defeat whoever comes after you together.
let's go fight war into the Archfey. Yeah.
That's right. That's where this campaign's going.
We'll
That will
find
be how we-
Tyraxus at the bottom of the ice of death.
That's how we will retrieve him and add him to this campaign again.
Get him.
And so we will gain the power necessary to break free of our curse. I'm interested in befriending a Lord of Winter Pipers.
Well, you know. Can't get to Tyraxus, can get to you.
Stupid Winter Fairy Court.
That's a little bit like you know, debts of the father or something, but that's how it goes. You know,
Yeah.
you inherit that stuff.
Yeah, this whole like I didn't actually inherit
Next
any of
in
his
line.
wealth. Like I'm supposed to
That
get his. I'm supposed to get his
I've been
money.
sucked to the Fae. I'll grab all this shit.
I'm supposed to get his money and his debts. Like this is not how it's supposed to
Yeah,
be.
like-
Inheritance is supposed to be a good thing.
Even the fake artifact he swallowed and brought with him.
He's like, oh god.
Stop it. Completely bulging as he.
Guys and Tiberius are like, and then he just swallowed everything.
Yeah, I nearly got swallowed, but I told him I would just walk. Fine.
The priest is a sure shot that one of us was set to win. He took those too.
You two are coming with me. I'm not going down alone.
Oh shit. All right. Good session, everyone, I guess.
Things happened.
A lot of things burned.
Not enough.
There'll never be enough.
No.
I don't know, man. There was more fire. There was more team fire than we've ever seen in this campaign.
A lot of team fire.
It was mostly Team Wrong Fire, though. It's not the
A
same.
lot of that blue fire. But you know,
Yeah.
just think, if you joined,
That's right. There was way more
So
blue
much
fire than
fire.
red fire.
Yes. It's a sad truth.
If you only had a close blast 3 recharge 50% of the time, blinding and fire damage
and
effect,
he wants to give it to you too. Like, it's not even.
and he wanted to give it to you.
Please have
I
it.
mean, Villinger's
Have
Fire
the
is like,
power.
it's like fine wine. It takes a while to mature, but it's better.
But he won't lose that fire. He'll just gain more.
Fine.
Purely beneficial.
Yes, surely he will give into the same phenomenon that drove Tiamat mad. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
if it's good for the goddess, it's good for the servant, right?
I wouldn't call being mad good.
Oh,
Well,
Fiona did not. She did not do well in the spell play. It's sort of-
No.
it's not madness, it's truth.
I mean, the thing is, the spell plague is basically fire that burns magic, and dragons are made of magic, so that seems like a bad combination.
Well,
It's like a wood dragon.
Hey, we
Taking
have a
a
working
torch.
example of one dragon with a
A
spell
work-
scar, right?
I wouldn't call that a working example. I would call it an example, sure.
it's fine. Nothing bad will ever come for that. You know?
Yeah. Then you too can be desired by the Spellscarred Kingdom for integration and annexation.
Assimilation. Yeah.
Assimilation. There you go. One of us. One of us.
No.
You could be something greater.
Uh,
Bigger.
I-
That'd
I
be
full-
very reasonable.
I fully anticipated you would resist that compulsion. I'm like, there's no way he's taking it.
I could see you going the other way too. I don't understand the blue fire. I must destroy all of them.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely could have gone the other way.
That is the eventual goal, but in that specific situation, it wouldn't be good.
It's not like strike him down right now. Not like
It certainly
destroy him
is
right now,
sort of against the Malignus nature to be as scheming as he has been there.
Would
like-
have been amusing though if Varus just came back and you both had spell scars. Hey. Yeah, we went and talked there, and
Yeah, we came to an understanding.
one thing led to another. You got to go with the Aboleth, man. Just it's the whole deal. That's the thing.
Malignus had been big enough. He would have just burned all those stupid trees of Amaranth. He would have burned all the spell plague. He would have burned Elm, and then everyone would have been happy.
Because everyone who would be dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, if he were big enough. That's what every dragon says.
Yeah,
It is,
just
isn't
an
it?
issue.
There's always a bigger dragon out there.
There always is.
Until you kill him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's usually how dragons do it, right?
Yeah. And then you answer to the dragon god.
And then you are the biggest dragon out there until someone kills you.
But it'll never happen to me. Like,
I mean,
No.
the dragon rage has stopped, so that's nice.
yeah.
Doesn't
it
have
has.
anymore. Though dragons wouldn't really know that because it hasn't been long enough that it should. So
Now that I am the biggest dragon will never die. Like, this time I will be the one who endures forever.
I mean, all the other big dragons have just been doing it wrong.
Yeah. There's your arrogance of dragons right there. Like, no,
You're
I got
dragoning
this.
badly.
Yeah, that's right. I am the best dragon. Let me show you how I can
I can be
dragon.
more arrogant. Show more hubris.
Valignif goes like, well, I'll offer my services. Pay me. We would be more than delighted to give you the most valuable thing we have. Oh no!
Just shut up. I literally just want money.
And then you had like, shut up for the next, 8-minute conversation.
It was like a
Yeah,
fucking
you just gold.
door-to-door vacuum salesman.
Only you went to his door. You went to the door of the vacuum.
If they had like printing on paper, they would ask you where your address was, so they could send you.
Yeah, pamphlets and other informational material to
Hold
You
the
know-
watchtower. It's about
not even out of malicious intent, but a genuine warmth
I
and
just want to share with you.
Oh, that would be it. Valignus sets up the Dragon Fane as a contact point, and all he gets is spam mail.
spam mail from the Spellscar. Would you like to know more? Click here.
I mean, we were invited, so we set up a guy who could talk to people who come visiting.
Doesn't need a temple guard, he needs a spam filter.
You've been entered into the mailing list for the
He
Spellscar
stands
Kingdom.
outside. You have to wait outside to get in, and the guy's just there. I mean, he's going to talk to you. And even people sort of try not to look at him, to not invite his, and they're like, "Oh God, I hope that weirdo doesn't talk to me." But oh no, he's coming over here. Oh God, he's. You don't look at him in the eyes. You try to ignore he's there, but he's sort of
Yeah.
coming and talking to you, and you're like,
I look forward to seeing how these grand aspirations go with inviting a little bit of everyone to the to your mountain meeting
some of
hall.
the Arkmites, some of the Copper Dragon.
Not the Ogmites for sure. Just all who seem like they're sort of positive towards us.
The Aboleth seems like they're positive towards us.
Well, the Aboleth is just funny.
Okay.
Maybe not the Aboleth. I'm not decided yet.
I mean, what if he showed up? Hovering there in a bubble of his own oil, you know.
Quick, burn him! That's what Velingman would say. Where's my black pearls?
Oh.
All right, you two. I'll talk to you both later.
Yeah.
Right, see ya.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. Thank you
It
for the
has-
session, though.
It was fun.
Been a thing.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.